What a way to start. Welcome in, everybody. Happy Monday. Nice to see you again. Welcome back to Joysticks and Mouse Clicks. We're missing one yet again. This week, Aravan ended up getting stranded out of town and is at a range, I believe. So we should have Aravan back next week. We'll see. But just in case you haven't been initiated on what we're discussing this week, if you haven't seen me post the same image for it 12 times on Twitter yet, we're discussing generally game controllers, peripherals, anything that the gamer uses to interact with a video game. Although I know that I got a couple that looked like they would interact with the game, but technically don't, and I think probably you two do too, at least one maybe. I'll give an example ahead of time, and I'm not going to go into detail. The Game Boy Pocket Sonar is technically not a video game, but I felt like it was necessary to bring it up. No, Cornelius, we don't stick the joystick up our ass and use that for movement. That is not what we're discussing this week.
Speak for yourself.
If anyone was going to make that, it'd be Nintendo.
True.
And
We'll find some way to fuck you. One final thing before we officially dive in. Big thank you from me personally to HelloFresh, coming in clutch at a financially difficult time for everybody, showing up to help out the channel. Big appreciation for HelloFresh. But who has something that they are like itching to bring up? Do you have like a certain controller you've been waiting all week to talk about, or peripherals?
Well, before we get into it, who do you think is going to be worse? Do you reckon PC is gonna be worse, or do you reckon Nintendo?
I reckon Nintendo.
I would say Nintendo. Yeah, like I think we're all on the same page.
I have some doozies for PC.
Really?
Really? Okay.
Okay, I'm interested. I mean, Nintendo's got they are like the gaming innovators is what they're known as. I think the thing that most people don't realize is that I think Nintendo, because they don't really engage themselves in the console war, they kind of sit on the sidelines and they're just like, we'll throw some things out there. We'll throw some stuff into the wind. 99% of, well, not 99, I'd say like 60% of it doesn't stick and falls and gets swept under the rug and no one remembers it. And then there's the 40% that ends up like the Switch and blows up and becomes amazing, in light of the Wii U's utter failure. So Nintendo's always had an interesting position in gaming in that sense. So I am really excited to dive into all the weird stuff they've made. In fact, you know what? I am going to jump straight into that Pocket Sonar.
Fair enough.
So this is a difficult device to show on stream, but I'm going to try. This is like the best images I've been able to find of it, chat. So if you know what a Game Boy looked like, the original Nintendo Game Boy, this was a device that you could purchase and plug into your Game Boy. This goes into the cartridge slot. You dip this yellow thing down into the water, and it is just a sonar for real life fishing. It is not designed for any sort of a fishing video game. This is a device, I don't know if Nintendo published it or if just some guy made it. Oh, it was made by Bandai.
Always ahead of the curve, Bandai.
Always ahead of the curve. So, I don't really know how to lead the conversation on this one, is why I wanted to get it out of the way first.
I think there's just been, like, over the years, there's been so many, like, let's call them creative minds.
Sure.
That have come up with some really ingenious designs on how their idea is going to revolutionize gaming, right? And how, maybe not even revolutionize gaming, how they're going to make their game console more like usable in the real world. And I guess this is a good example of that, where it's like, turn your Game Boy into a sonar for fishing.
I want to know,
those don't already exist.
Who was it at Bandai that was like, we could use this for more? Yeah, this little handheld isn't quite living up to its full potential, I think.
This is an untapped well.
I'm gonna go on a limb and say that man's probably not working for Bandai Namco anymore, but that's just, you know, a guess.
I wonder if I can find, like...
He went into his manager's office that day. He's like, sir, I have an idea.
Yeah. He probably quit like not long enough.
We make this product and it sells. Yeah. I get a promotion.
I wish I
They
could
probably pulled it from the
find
shelves
Miami.
eventually.
the sales data for something like that. But
Oh, dude,
sadly,
I'm sure it's not good.
that thing didn't even have its own wiki page. Like that's
Oh
how,
my god.
yeah, most of these things don't. There's a whole wiki page I have pulled up at the moment for just Game Boy accessories. We can go down that list if we want to.
Oh yeah, there's a lot. You got like printers, you got sonar, you got.
Yeah, it's a quick
there's probably
glance.
something just bag sandwiches or something. I don't know, dude. It's
My first-
it's
my
endless
first
fountain
one.
of youth.
My
Oh!
first one also does not have a wiki.
I totally forgot about the Game Boy transfer pack. The cartridge that you would plug into your Game Boy to save your save data on it and then plug it into an N64 controller to copy your save data over on N64.
Yep.
I had a friend who had one of those. I completely forgot that existed.
I also
Yep.
forgot it existed because I never used it.
Yeah.
I never had a Nintendo 64, so I just was
Missed
of
out. That
race.
console slapped.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I got into the race in PS1. That's where I got in.
I got in at
I was a late bloomer.
Super Nintendo.
I think I was at
Nintendo.
the OG Nintendo and like the Sega Genesis were like the two first consoles I remember playing.
Definitely
Okay.
the one I think I played a Super Nintendo when I was very, very, very little. I think the one that I spent the most time on in my life, or the one that made me a gamer, was definitely the PS2 for sure, hands down. That was when I
Fair.
would take like weekly trips out to Blockbuster and rent the video game and beat it in 2 days, and my mom would tell me we rented it for a week. You're gonna play it for a week, and then
Yeah, that's fair. I think I also did the same thing for like the PS1, except I didn't like go to Blockbuster. I just remember playing Horse on Tony Hawk Pro Skater over and
Oh,
over and over again
yeah.
with like brothers and stuff. I remember it so badly, so vividly that I would literally just like play Horse against a friend who went to the bathroom, and I tried to cheat. And I tried to like manipulate him and like make his character like just do an ollie or something. I land the ollie, and then I'd fuck up on my turn, and then I lost to myself while trying to cheat. It was that bad.
Played
That's
yourself,
one of
dude.
that's one of my lowest case
the lowest of the lows.
The lowest. It's so bad.
Man, that's. And how do you even explain that away?
Right? Yeah.
Now your friend comes back from the toilet, he sits down, he's like, dude, you're a dick. As if you did that, and you're like, yeah. You know, acting all cocky, like, you're done for now. You try to single kickflip, you stack it, and you're like, well, fuck. All my shame is on display for everyone to see.
It's fine. It made me stronger in the long run, I like to think.
Oh man. All right. Well, I've got a banger. This
Sure.
is an absolute classic. This was designed to replace the mouse.
The mouse.
Okay, the mouse for the PC.
Where should I expect this link coming in?
I'm gonna drop it into the chat,
Okay.
or into our little secret chat.
Yeah.
Oh.
Fancy.
I'm just gonna put it into this one here. So this is called the Novant Falcon for PC.
It hasn't shown up yet.
It's in it's in screen cap comments. My bad.
Oh, okay.
What the
Let's see here.
So this was designed. to
That's
replace the
American.
Mouse.
Fucking.
So
What is this?
you would do is you would put a gun in there, and it was meant to make you get more in touch with the game. And it's like the most American thing I've ever seen in my life.
Does it come with a gun?
You fight a Walmart.
Where did you find this?
It's
Oh
just
my
the
God.
bottom of the barrel, dude. I was looking at different mice over the ages.
Yeah, is this one you had on the top of your list? You were really, it was top 3.
I
Really
this
thought
is
about
one-
going with this one, ended up picking up a Corsair.
Bottom of the barrel, man.
What the
I
fuck
just
is
love the idea that someone's like, I don't want one of these pansy leftist mouse.
that? Yeah.
No,
So how does
I want a rootin' tootin' gun for my controller, dude.
Dude, so is that all attached, or like the arms? Like you have to buy the gun separate? Like
I
it looks
think
like
you have to
arms, like,
buy the
clamp
gun
onto it.
separate. Actually, no, the gun
It
looks
looks like
plastic.
that.
It's plastic.
Yeah, the gun's plastic.
Okay, so it's not a real gun. You said you put a gun in it.
No.
I'm just imagining Debbie's like, instructions unclear, and just blasts a hole through it. Absolutely demolishes it with this for a second.
You strap in a full loaded gun. It's like,
Ammunition
oh,
and all.
shit.
You just gotta make sure it works. So
Just
it
take
looks
gun up
like
there, it just has a hole straight through, and you're like,
I forgot to unload my gun before I put it in.
it looks like you have these clamping devices that hold down on it, and then these are flexible and probably rotate, and then these bend at where they connect to the actual device. So I imagine you're like wiggling it around and holding it like this. That's so strange.
Yeah,
Man.
but also that way you can swap it out for if you want to put your shotgun there. You know,
Yeah.
just like put that one in there. It'd be great.
Yeah, what happens when you pick up a sniper in Halo? You have to swap.
Yes.
Yeah, you have to sit there and swap guns.
Oh my god, dude.
Sorry, let me put my Barrett 50 cal in real quick.
Oh
All
my
right, so
God,
here's
it's
the real
so
question.
funny.
Would you use this? Like, I mean,
Yes.
even as a
Yes.
joke. Yeah, I would too.
Absolutely.
Absolutely,
Hands
right?
down.
Like, no, even questions about it. Like, I can do it right now.
Now that I know it exists, I need one.
How much is it? I need to find like a link to buy one.
Why are our webcams so delayed?
And I don't know if it actually comes with a gun.
Oh, it's just junk. Okay.
All the ones on Amazon that I've seen don't come with a gun.
Your webcam's like a 4-second delay, Chunk. So the ones you've seen on Amazon don't come with a gun. So the gun's
Oh, it is.
separate.
No. Yeah.
You buy a plastic separate gun for this plastic mouse setup.
There he goes.
Yeah, no, you can get them on. You can get them. I saw one on Amazon. That was the most I've seen it.
Can you?
and
I
it
want the
took
Amazon link. I need to see how much this costs.
I'm trying to find it now. It took some real searching to find.
I mean, I can
Found
imagine.
one on eBay for $320.
Yeah, it's happy.
Is that with or without the gun?
Well, if it's without the gun, I don't even want it.
Well, I mean, if you're buying it on
What's
eBay,
the-
you gotta know if the whole product's coming along.
Yeah.
This is so wild to think about. I mean, it's kind of a cool concept. I'm interested in how it actually works. I imagine the gun fires some sort of like IR signal into a dark device inside that's just tracking where you're aiming and where you shoot. Yeah. So I imagine it's not incredibly complicated. I don't think this is what I would have thought of if I were the person that was tasked with making a gun mouse.
I know, right?
Yeah.
This
You
is
just make
the
you just make the
furthest thing.
zapper, right?
Yeah, I
literally
just
what,
make the zapper,
everyone
exactly.
does.
No, those zappers don't work on anything but CRTVs.
Really?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So they
Yeah.
require a reflective screen.
That's
That's why you
interesting.
don't see them anymore. Nowadays they use sensors and stuff, but yeah, the ones that the zapper ones that we know of, they use they use reflective screens in order to see the sensor. Yeah, I can't find one that you can buy.
Well, we're going with Chunk's eBay price of $300. Chat, is there anybody who's trying to fork out $300 for a gun mouse? Let me see all the yeses.
Amazon has one for 1,000, but it doesn't come with a gun.
What?
Yeah,
There's no way
one
the
on
eBay one comes with a
also
gun. Then.
doesn't- Yeah, the eBay one doesn't come with a gun either.
Maybe.
It comes with a C-3PO looking ass head though. Hold on.
Oh, chat says yes.
I'm just-
It's worth $300 to chat.
Yeah, I'd buy it for $300.
That's the thing I found.
Such a wild concept, dude. Let's see here.
Awesome.
Oh.
Yeah, like
Oh.
that's the closest thing I found.
Wait
And
a
it
minute.
looks similar, but it's like
Weird.
I don't
This
know.
is just a
It's-
joystick with way too many steps.
Yeah.
Like, this is a
what it
sideways,
looks like, right?
confusing joystick.
At this point, it's just become a joystick with too many steps. 100%.
That is so strange. The gun made more sense.
The gun did make more sense, yeah.
Is it the same company, Novent?
Yep, Novin. Yep.
Interesting. Well, you were right. You did start off with a doozy. You didn't let me down.
Dude, yeah. Meanwhile,
I came in swinging.
my first item that I was gonna talk about was the Mad Catz controller with the useless M button, but I feel like it's just like pointless to bring that up now.
Yeah, no, let's just scrap all our lists.
No, I got more. I've got more.
Okay, yeah, let's just say, show me your fisting machine that's supposed to be connected to the PC or whatever.
I would like to bring up the Konami laser
VR,
scope.
Here's my VR fuck machine for me.
Here's the Konami laser scope.
Honestly, that's
Oh
beautiful.
my god.
I
Yep.
wear that.
This is one that we found. So this was made in 1991. It was made for a specific game. I don't remember the name of the game, unfortunately. It was Laser something. But the thing I do remember about the game was that the game did not come with the headset. The game came with a $5 off coupon to buy the headset.
Oh my god.
So on top of that,
scary.
you do aim with your head. You wear it on your head. You see a little reticle crosshair thing around this bit here. So you can see and look at the screen and aim. And then whenever you're ready to fire, there's no controller. It's voice activated. So you say, fire, and it shoots. So the biggest problem, and the reason that this was received so poorly,
Sounds like Lifeline.
is because the microphone
fire.
was hypersensitive and would just rapid fire anytime anything happened around you while you were playing.
Amazing.
So
Oh no.
did not go over very well. Didn't sell many copies. Surprisingly, despite the $5 coupon, not many people bought these.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm surprised it wasn't the opposite problem where it's like it like just didn't register half the commands. Half the
Yeah,
time
that's
and
what I
just, like,
thought,
didn't
too.
fire. Honestly, nice to see that T1's headset though is a throwback. You know.
T1's headset.
Oh my
Dude,
god,
Could
you're
you
right.
imagine as he screamed into that how distorted it would get?
Dude, it would be insane.
Pure baby rage right through that microphone.
Just automatically upgrades his gun to like a rocket launcher or something.
Laser Invasion, that's the
beautiful,
name of it. Laser Invasion
Wow.
was the name of the game. Yeah,
Yeah,
it came with a
no,
coupon
another
for a
game.
$5 discount of the laser scope.
They had another game that came out on, I believe it was the PS1, called Lifeline, which is entirely voice activated as well.
Oh?
Yeah. It's like
Okay.
all the commands you played a guy that like is Overwatch, like you are just watching.
Oh, that sounds
kinda
kinda cool.
And you tell a girl who's the main character what to do.
That sounds interesting.
Exactly.
I want more games like that that are like multiplayer. Like one person is
It's a
playing.
very janky game, but
I imagine.
you know, it's very fun. There's like speed runs of it as well, and it's very entertaining.
I imagine the jank is mostly from the voice controls.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Because I mean, like even GameCube had like a microphone, right? That like you could plug in like where the memory card goes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it would like be a little microphone. It was I don't even know what it was used for other than like Mario Party 7.
Modern
There's
Warfare
this-
2
this-
on the GameCube for sure. I'm kidding. I'm absolutely joking.
Dude, I was gonna say, it's like Modern Warfare 2 on the wait, that's not even the right era, but it's fine. Dude, all I know is that I just remember those games like never recognizing the voice. And so it would just constantly like scream things during multiplayer games where you're supposed to activate traps like for your opponents or whatever, and just nothing would go off. And so it would just like constantly they just like one of the mini games was like it would fire like bullet bills or like throw obstacles from the sides to like stop them while they're skating past, and it would just not activate. And so they just drive in a straight line, and you waited 30 seconds until the game was over, and that was the whole thing. It
So
was the worst.
the funny thing when thinking about voice activation is comparing it to modern day tech. So looking at this from 1991 looks like a piece of junk at this point.
Yeah.
Modern tech, we have microphones like this, and like this is like a studio microphone, and we play a game like Phasmo, and that still struggles to understand what you're trying to say. So
Yeah.
trying to imagine like inputting any sort of complex command at all on this headset just looks like it wasn't going to work in 91.
Well, that's the thing. So was there other commands other than just fire, or was it just the one
It just
command?
when sound it shot. That's all it did. So it worked.
That's
Yep.
that's so stupid, but you know what? I respect it.
Respect the hustle. Now let me make you
got it.
disrespect it more and let you know that it was made and produced by Konami.
Well done, Konami. You
Yeah, well
nailed
done.
it.
They're out here
The
trying
bar.
their best, dude.
The paragons of good decisions.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna put that on my fridge for Konami and just let them like look at it every once in a while. Be like, you know what? Konami made this.
All right, what do we got next? Well, actually, my question: would you use this on anything?
I mean, what would you even use?
I would love to hook that up to my computer if
Okay.
it was some way possible and play an FPS with it.
Yeah.
Can't move.
Like I would love to play like Valorant or something with that thing.
What a streaming experience that would be as
So
Jamie's
much
just
fun.
absolutely sprinting around, just going as it just like fucking.
Absolutely.
You would just go,
Yeah,
Yeah, dude. Oh man, that'd be way too much fun. I'd love to use that, just purely for the novelty of it. I
So
reckon
this is
that'd be
actually
fun.
making me think of, I didn't take any of these down for my notes today, but I know that there are like webcams or sensors that detect your eye tracking, right? There's a lot of people that use eye tracking stuff. Can you imagine that functioning in an FPS game? If you could use eye tracking as like your aim, like your crosshair?
Oh, that'd be
I believe you can.
so
Really?
interesting.
It was designed for people that are unable to use their body due to full body paralysis. To be
Really?
able to play video
Yeah.
games. That's what the eye track is.
So like if I had an eye tracker, I could plug it into like Overwatch and play without a mouse. Is that what you're
Believe
saying?
so.
Or? Wow. That feels broken. Like I feel like your eyes lock onto something way faster than you can move your hand to aim at it.
No, maybe. Don't know.
Accommodating
There's
game
yellow-
control. You can use your eyes to control games and all sorts of things. Yeah, it's an interesting concept. It sounds like it would be something that wouldn't be allowed in online multiplayer, but that defeats the whole purpose of making it all together, right? So interesting.
Yeah, I guess this is where does accessibility, go too
Yeah.
far?
Yeah. Huh.
Can accessibility create unfair advantages for players?
Debbie's just looking at the person who like can't use their hands to like play the game, and Debbie's like,
sitting in a
"Cheater!
wheelchair, unable
What are
to
you doing in
move.
my lobby, dude?"
Stop cheating, bro.
Debbie's the only person. to
Use your
say, "Oh,
hands
no,
like
no."
everyone else.
This guy's got aim hacks.
So I can't have nice things.
I feel like a terrible person on this subject. Why'd you have to use me as an example?
Nah, because you were the one that brought it up and was like, "That seems unfair."
I'm bringing it up
That's-
hypothetically.
That's my thing.
You were the one to say it,
Yeah.
I was just bringing up the hypothetical. I'm not trying to accuse anyone with a disability of cheating,
It's a fair point.
even if they're all cheaters.
Even if they're all cheaters. Even if I'm right and it's all justified.
I'm completely kidding. I'm
God.
completely kidding.
Yeah.
Okay,
Slash DK.
so you want another absolute beauty for the PC?
Oh boy, let's see. Yeah.
Yes, please.
So I'm saying I feel like PC has a genuine case to really do some damage in this competition because while Nintendo had only Nintendo developers and stuff working on their peripherals.
True. Nintendo, or play PC had everybody.
Yeah.
Yep. Look at the Thrustmaster.
Oh no.
Oh yes.
No. The Thrustmaster
yes.
Fragmaster
Now,
for
what was that
PC.
before?
I love the
Um,
name.
do you-
Every part of this.
do you sit on it and play it with your ass?
Dude, I hate that there's like a
Guess what-
pee-pee hole like in the middle
Guess
of
what
it.
kind
That's
of
called
the game?
Thrustmaster.
Guess what kind of game it's designed for?
It says Fragmaster, so I have to assume FPS.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
designed for the FPS.
I have so many questions.
It's just one of the, it is no explanation. It's just one of those things where it's like, it's a terrible design.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it. It's just a terrible design. I don't know what they were thinking.
So I assume,
It's old.
yeah, I mean, you can see the cable.
Yeah.
Actually, this can't be the cable for this. That's like a display cable, isn't it?
Is it just twist?
Um,
How does that work?
no, I believe it's
it looks
control
like
cable.
Huh. Okay.
And they did have weak control cables for some peripherals that needed more power than that maybe needed a 9-pin slot.
Arbiter did point out that this is an existing brand for flight controllers. That
Yep.
makes sense based on the imagery here.
Yes, agreed.
It
I was
feels
actually
like
gonna
they
say that
made
earlier.
this for FPS games, and then it came out, and everyone was like, "This is perfect for flight sims. Let's just buy this FPS controller."
Other way around, they were already known for making flight sims. They wanted to enter into the FPS.
I see.
Yeah, they
Little
wanted
cursed.
This was their entry. This is their entry to go. Hey,
It was also their
Guys.
exit.
You know what?
Hey, guys,
That's a
take
step.
it serious.
That's a step. I'm not saying which direction they're facing when they took that step, but it is a step.
So, I'm assuming that this moves around in some way atop this black section here.
I'm just imagining you like hold it with both hands and it twists back and forth to like turn your vision, right? But then it's like, how do you?
Well,
like,
I think it probably twists and it probably leans, right?
Yeah.
Maybe.
It still just seems so perfect for flight sims and not great for an FPS.
I don't know if it does feel perfect for flight sims. Like, it's so like all in one. Like, you need two hands for that thing.
True.
Like, flight sims usually have two separate sticks.
So what's with the? Are we gonna talk about the weird like bust in the background that's just like staring at the controller?
Didn't even notice the
admiring it?
profile
Like,
over here on the left.
yeah, I was saying,
And
what
it's
was
'cause
the
I took
idea
this
with taking
photo.
the
I
picture?
took this photo from my own house.
Oh wait, did
I don't
you?
believe you.
It's my own.
No, I
bus.
believe you. I believe you.
I don't blame him at all.
1000%. That's actually sculpted after Jamie's head.
It's true. That's true.
All right, I have a few
100%.
questions for you then.
Beautiful. Honestly.
First off, why did you edit via Amazon into the top right corner?
For the memes.
Okay, and then I assume also for the memes was the the whole title card around it.
Here's the thing, Debbie. If you don't lead for like, a lot of people are gonna focus on the image, right? But you need to focus
Yeah.
on the name. It's called the Thrustmaster Fragment. Like,
Yeah.
why would
come
you
on.
ever want to like focus on anything else other than the name?
Yeah.
That's
I
got.
need,
That's
I
gonna
need
be
to
what
let
you lead
everybody know. I need to let everybody know what this is called. This is a work of art.
for. It's beautiful.
I'm trying to
You know,
think
you
of.
don't hang up a Da Vinci painting in the Louvre without saying its name underneath it, do you?
Are you comparing the
wrong.
Are
He's
you
not wrong.
comparing? I want to make sure I have this right. We are now comparing
Yes.
the Thrustmaster Fragmaster for PC to a. I don't even remember what artist name you said.
100%. Maybe more Picasso.
Picasso. I see. Okay.
If this is equal to the Thinker, honestly, because honestly,
Yeah.
like it's making my brain hurt. I feel like I'm thinking, looking at it,
Yeah.
like it's trying.
Cornelius said, "So why does the space on the inside of the handle look like a holder for my own Thrustmaster?"
That's what I said, dude. It's like the
Very
middle part
briefly.
looks like a dick like insert thing. Like it's just so wrong.
Very briefly, I have the weirdest trending thing right now.
Sure.
Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are declaring war on bisexuals.
What?
That is the name of the trending tag.
What on Twitter?
No,
gotta
not on
look at
Twitter,
this.
on
What?
the website. It's the website where I looked up the Thrustmaster.
Okay, I need a link.
Okay, yeah, please.
We are.
This is really off topic.
It's a little off topic, but we're gonna divert a little bit,
Wait,
Chad. I hope you don't
so
mind. We'll get back onto
interesting.
controllers,
It
but
looks like it's just
is it just some stupid thing someone made up, or? I want to know the reasoning.
because both of the professors are very sexy. I think is it. I don't
So?
know.
What does that have to do with it? Okay, I'll look it up
Because
later.
Bisexuals don't know which one to choose. Oh my.
War. We made them both attractive because fuck you.
It's not like people have preferences. You know, they're not complete fucking Jesus Christ. Those damn bisexuals, they just can't keep their hands off everything.
Everything, dude.
And
Alright.
you won't be able to keep your hands off of both copies of Pokemon Scarlet and it's just an ad segment.
All right, how much was this one? How much is the Thrustmaster Fragmaster?
Once again, prices are hard to find.
Okay, fair enough. Fair
So
enough.
we're gonna go with listed as priceless, please.
Let
If
me
you don't-
Priceless.
see if I can Thrust Master.
The equivalent of a
Frag Master.
of a Picasso painting in the Louvre.
Okay, I've got one on eBay.
Okay.
$30.
not bad.
$30?
Yeah, like
Okay.
$29.99, $22.
That's not
Not
bad at
bad.
all.
I'm seeing a few. I'm seeing a few
You know
things
what? Maybe
around that.
maybe I'll pick one of these up for myself. Maybe I'll pick up one of these little bad boys.
No, what you need is this.
Wait a second.
You need this.
Oh yeah,
You
true.
know,
That.
us.
Honestly, I talked to Debbie a little bit about that. I like that design. Is that weird?
That it looks terrible.
I
Okay,
like it.
listen. Lana was kind enough to donate so I could get this, and said that they would consider the same for you. And we need to play duos hunts with these mice.
Oh my god.
That's the goal. We gotta bind our movement to the joystick at the top.
If one of these mice will land in my hand somehow, I would do that. I swear to God, I would not go out of my way to buy that atrocity.
He's not even going online to buy it. It has to fall from the sky into his lap. If it
I
doesn't
see.
happen, then there's
100%.
Adby said vertical mice are a thing for ergonomic reasons, but what the fuck is the joystick doing there? Yeah, that is the thing that throws me off the most.
I think it's the thing that I like the most. Is that weird? I like it.
I would then like to play Hunt Showdown with the Thrustmaster.
Hey, dude, honestly, only like $30. That's not bad. That's
Sure, it's the same price as the mouse. Do you want to buy a Thrustmaster? I'll use the mouse.
My problem is I'm gonna go off eBay, and I'm so sus on eBay.
True, yeah, that's fair.
That's
Oh my
valid.
God, $76 shipping.
What? Okay, yeah.
That's where they get you.
That's where they get
That's
you.
where they got you.
Yeah. All
There
right.
it is. There it is. This is stinging.
Also, I just want to say this is also a Thrustmaster. It's good to know that they've come somewhat a decent way and finally figured out what a controller kind of looks like.
Yeah, you done well.
What?
Thrustmaster. Good job,
You
learning.
know, yeah, that's
What's the
another
point of why
Thrustmaster.
is it so far? Oh, never mind. I understand now. It's the detachable things. I was like,
Yeah.
why is the thumbstick so far off the controller?
Dude, wait, hold on. Have you ever like played with somebody who used like those thumb extension things?
I think
thumbsticks?
Jazz used to have some. I don't know that
Yeah,
I've seen him
they were,
use them
like,
much.
That long, and they came off the joysticks. It was supposed to give you like more.
I don't get out of it. I don't.
fucking know, but like a lot of people who like were pro gamers used them.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's how they marketed them. They marketed them
Yeah.
to pro gamers, so pro gamers would think that they
So
needed
what?
them.
Hang on. Why does it pull out?
It's so that you can swap. It's like what's the term when modular? It's a modular controller. So I
Yeah.
believe the intention is that you can buy different thumbsticks. Nowadays, there are versions of this that let you swap out the face buttons, the directional pad. You can shift everything into the positions you want them to be.
Am I weird for not hating that?
Oh no, I think it's a good idea.
No,
I also
yeah,
still
like, it's
think,
really cool.
despite me personally thinking that PlayStation has the best controllers, I also think that Xbox has the best like ergonomic design. Like it's definitely the most comfortable in my
Yeah.
hands. I don't know. I grew up on PlayStation, so I'm just used to it. But this is definitely a step in the right direction over the Thrustmaster Fragmaster for sure.
I don't know.
I'm
about
definitely still looking about buying the Thrustmaster Fragmaster because for me it's
Yeah.
only $20 shipping. So I'm just saying, like,
that. As a bargain job.
yeah, dude, I'll
I guess
I'll
the
buy it
idea-
out from under Jamie, just steal it from him.
I guess the idea with tall sticks is that you get more precision because the surface area of the range of movement is bigger.
Interesting.
Okay, I
Okay.
can see it. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I get that. Seems like such a minute difference, but I guess
Yeah.
if that like 0.1% precision makes a difference for you, then go for it.
All right, so I'm gonna bring up. Let me find a good picture of it real quick. I only have the wiki page pulled up. I'm gonna bring up a controller that this was the first one that my chat and we all did the research together. So over the past 2 days, I spent like 4 hours with chat doing all of our research together. This was the only one that I actually kind of wanted. So this is called the NegCon. It was made by Bandai Namco. This is a controller that is split in half and attached at the middle by a rotating axle. And the purpose of it, actually, I think Chunk said that he saw this one. Did you see this one, Chunk?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
then
I'm just-
Jamie, I wanna know
Even
if-
my mind is still just like,
Can either of you guess what this is for? Why this was designed?
no.
I will
I
give you a
just
hint.
found
The
the picture
rotating
and
axle is an input.
Yeah, I figured.
Is it
would
wait?
be.
Is it like a motocross thing or like a motorcycle thing? So like, that's all I can think of, right? It's just like
Not bad, not bad. You gotta hurry.
I got-
Fox is gonna say it.
If it's a fishing game and you just fucking spin that thing to like reel it in, I'm gonna be fucking mad.
I have
There's
no
no
idea
way.
what the fuck is this for.
This was made for racing games. So
Okay,
you
I
steer.
was kinda close.
You steer by alternating which direction you're rotating the controller. I actually think this is a really cool idea. I've never seen one or played on one. Fox knows the exact game it's made for, so maybe Fox has played on one. This one actually looks really cool. I kind of like this concept.
Fox is just a grandpa. Don't listen to him.
I respect Fox,
Dragon Fox, love
okay?
you.
But yeah, I mean, obviously it doesn't have any thumbsticks, so you're not going to be able to play modern games on it. But specifically for the purpose of racing games, I think it's really cool. I kind of like the concept of this. If they remade this with like modern, I'm not going to say modern plastics, I guess, you know, like a higher quality version of this instead of the old 80s yellowing plastic.
Dude,
I think I'd buy one.
I would have pulled that bad
Why
boy
did they
out.
all
Like,
use
it's a
this
big old
plastic? What was
toy.
Cheap.
what was so special about this yellowing
Super
plastic?
cheap.
Because everyone that played with these controllers knows that they went like a nice bright yellow, like it was pissed on.
Yeah, it took like 2 years.
Yeah,
And they would be
it did take
disgusting
long.
looking, yeah.
it was a nice urine yellow color. It was awful.
Fox
Yeah.
does in fact own one of these controllers. Okay, if you've used this, Fox, I'm really curious. What was it like? Like, does it feel good to turn the controller in a weird way to steer? Like, does it actually feel responsive and like it was well made? I'll make sure that I read that response out loud.
Dude, I'm just absolutely concerned that I would like go to like twist and be like, oh, it doesn't twist that far, and just snap it in half. And
Oh,
just, like,
true. I'm sure there's like a spring in there that you feel more pressure as you get to one side.
Oh, true.
Nah,
You-
doubt it.
Yeah, actually, you're probably right. It was made by Bandai Namco. It's all right. Okay, it was all right. That's not bad.
Yeah, you know,
I
it probably
think-
just splits off like Joy-Cons for the Switch, and you just have two halves.
Of
Why not?
all of the weird things we looked at so far, which to be fair isn't many, we've just gotten started.
Yeah.
This is the one I'd be most interested in, genuinely. I like this concept, like especially even as a PC controller nowadays. A higher quality version of this. PC driving is hard. Sell a cheap version of this, I'd buy it.
Okay.
I think
I wouldn't.
I would. Yeah, I would say. I think I just stick with a normal controller. Like at that point,
Yeah.
right? Like, I don't think there's any need for this kind of controller at that point because you just have. I don't know. I mean, I would try it, I guess.
I like the innovation. I think it's cool.
It's fair. I also hated the Wii wheel, so what do I know?
I'm not sure how much this one sold for.
Time to look it up.
Yeah, we're gonna look it up. Let's see. Negcon eBay. $40 used on eBay. Not bad. I do have to say, the form factor is very strange. The fact that they made this giant lump in the middle. I don't really know why that was necessary.
Good question.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because if you crack it open in the middle, there's a toy inside.
Well, no. Probably because back then they would have had to use ball bearings to make it rotate smoothly. So they probably needed enough room for the ball bearings to like really
Interesting.
I can see that.
function properly.
Right? Yeah.
This looks like a beta version of the product. Like it looks like the concept that they made. Like, we want to make this better and sell it, and then someone was like, sell it now, we'll see if people like it.
That one looks pre-used. It's already like starting to yellow a little bit. Like it's the off-white, the
Yeah.
off-color.
Sketchy said the
Yeah, it's
middle
getting-
looks
it's
like
getting
where a
rough.
credit card goes. It's perfect for modern gaming. It's got a credit card reader in it and everything.
True. It's all you,
Yeah,
yo.
EA is loving it, dude. They're just like,
Dude. They just make a racing game where you have to pay for gas and you just swipe your card.
alright.
It's just like
do you-
real life. It's great.
Do you want another one?
Yeah, let's see it.
Yes.
This is one of the most ridiculous. And a few people might remember this one. So this is. Let me just send it.
Yep.
Send it first. So you can get it up. Alright. So this is the Sega activator for
Yes.
Genesis.
All three of us had this on our list, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So it's was marketed completely falsely as well.
Was
So
it?
basically, Yes, the way they marketed it on like TV ads was like, you know, you do this, and this, you karate chop, and your character will karate chop. When realistically, you had to make very specific inputs that would cross the infrared sensors on the outside of the barrier to make a controller input.
It was like an upward-facing sensor on each of the 8 sides where these triangles are, and it would just detect if you moved something over it and vaguely how high it was, I believe, is all the controls were.
Yep.
I want to point out that I had a different reference image open for this. Let me put it in here so that I can open it on stream easier. This is the version I had, the picture I found for it.
Oh man.
And I can even one-up this image.
Is there any way we can watch this presentation?
I was about to say, I have the presentation here ready.
Let's go.
It's rough, dude. Okay,
This is good stuff.
Oh, it was already on widescreen. Okay.
Good morning, everybody. Glad you could join us. Today, soap star Robin Strasser. How to
Do you have a
adopt a
robot arm?
family, the Babysitters Club, low-cost healthcare dinosaurs. I am with the lab here, your host, Gary Collins.
Oh, the 90s. Class.
Okay.
Now, these are
Put my
gamers.
foot forward.
This is what I think of when I think of a gamer.
This is called the Sega Activator, and this one happens to be with the greatest heavyweights of all time. It's $150, and what it
Ooh,
truly
that's pretty pricey back in the
enables you
90s.
to get
Yeah, I
involved
say.
in your video games
Right.
with your entire body. It's not just hand-eye coordination anymore, Gare.
This is 2 of the greatest heavyweights, Evander Holyfield and Rocky Marciano.
Yeah,
And what
I'm
you do is
Marciano, you're
You operate
Holyfield.
your feet, depending upon where you put your arms. It will
Right.
be a body shot, a hook, or just a straight jab, or whatever. So here we
Okay,
go.
now watch. Okay,
All
here
right.
we go. See, I'm moving forward because I've got my foot over here,
Whoops.
and then you just
There we
punch.
go. Ooh,
See?
look at that, huh?
Now punch me, Gare. There.
Huh?
Can you
Well,
see
I'm
that?
trying to.
Now punch me,
I'm
God.
up against the rope.
Thrilling.
Sorry.
He's
Look
trying to
at
kick.
that.
He's trying to
I gotta
kick.
get
You
a
can't do
lesson
that
there.
boxing, you filthy
You do.
bastard.
Wow, that was
We were
good.
watching this on stream, and I was like standing up in the back of my room going,
Gary, you're forgetting to move forward.
Well, wait a
So I've
minute.
got you up against the rope.
Now, come on, Evander.
See?
You suck, old man.
Why is he using his feet? Yeah, does he know what boxing is?
Just wild or what?
Who won?
Nobody won yet. It's not a knockout. What are you talking about?
they don't know that. They're too good at gaming to understand.
Thumbs up. I'd give it
Too
thumbs up.
good.
I'd give
They
it
knew
thumbs
that
up.
the
I'd
fight
like
would
to see
last
kids
forever
do
if
that
2
and do it physically,
titans
right?
clashed on live TV, so they had to cut it early.
Great marital tool.
Oh,
Yes.
great marital
BB,
tool.
A marital tool? What?
It's a fairly inexpensive way to get your aggressions out.
This is how you take out all your frustrations on your wife.
A fairly
But you don't
inexpensive
actually
way to
ever.
get your aggressions out.
Yeah, Jesus
Nice.
Christ, dude.
Yeah. Drink a fifth of whiskey and hop in the ring.
Imagine all your arguments ending that way with your spouse. Though it's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm
Pull out
tired
the
of you using your
activators.
credit card all the time. Get in the ring. We're going hands on.
No, it's getting the octagon.
We're taking
Get
this
in
to the octagon.
right now.
Oh my God, dude, that's incredible.
I'm so glad I saved this clip. I knew that video would come in handy. So all 3 of us had Sega Actuator on, an octagon
Yeah.
of sensors arranged around you in a circle that just detect whenever you move your hands over
So
the
dumb.
sensors. I think no shot that would succeed today. Like, we already have VR. I think the idea conceptually maybe could be expanded on a lot for the use along with a VR headset, maybe, but even then, I don't know.
I don't think it's necessary.
Although that is an interesting. I'm curious about how they how they. I need an update on the progress on, like, I don't know what to say for this. Like a treadmill for VR, like something that you walk and play VR. You know what I mean?
Ready Player One.
Yeah, something like that, like a stationary treadmill for VR.
Yeah. So that
Good
exists.
try. You think you're gonna catch
I know
me on
they're.
a treadmill?
Last I
Nice try,
looked,
yeah.
they were like $3,000 for something
They're
like
very
that.
expensive.
Yeah.
They're not very, and they're not
Christ.
perfect. What they do is they anchor on you from 4 points around a big ring, and they kind of hold you in place. And then you run on a like this free run treadmill type thing.
Okay. And it's still 4 digits.
I believe so. Yeah.
Sheesh. Okay.
I believe the cost of making it alone is 4 digits.
Yeah, that makes sense. It seems to be something like here in my town, I don't know how popular these are, but we have like a VR business in town where you pay X amount of money per hour to play on their VR system that has like a really big, awesome, perfect setup and a ton of games and a library for you, and that's the whole business. So that seems like something that would be commercially marketed to a business like that, as opposed to being like available for just your regular consumer.
I mean, I don't know, dude. You say that, but I know quite a few people. Honestly, too many people who have like bought and like set up their own like racing rigs for like certain like types of racing games. Like getting,
The
like
average consumer.
All right, you're right. Sorry,
I'm not talking about your friend from high school's uncle that has his own shop in the back and threw together an entire roll rig in his living room.
It's legitimately just a dude I work with who just showed me a picture of it.
That's insane,
Also,
actually.
an oil rig?
I said like roll rig for like a
it's an
vehicle.
oil rig. I was like, this man's just setting up a whole business out here. Damn.
Maybe in Texas. All right, Chunk,
Yeah.
we've shared. Do you have one to share with us?
Dude, I feel like all of mine are just like so. I kind of, you know what? Actually, I will share some of the ones that I sent you, Debbie. I want to keep it like to some of the ones I'll show will be like ones that were actually like gimmicky, but actually like sold decently or were like somewhat well known, right? Like
Sure.
for instance, the if you look, Debbie, the one that I most recently sent you, the Game Boy player. I'll copy it over.
Yeah.
And send it so Jim can see
The
as well.
Game Boy player. Okay.
Game Boy Advance player. I don't know if any of y'all remember that or not, but
No.
Is
This
it
was
like a little
this is like-
base that you said?
yeah, it was in a base that like literally attached and like to the bottom of a GameCube that it sat on, and you could put your Game Boy Advance games in there, and it would play on like a big screen.
That's actually sick. I didn't know that was a
Yeah.
thing.
Right? It was like
That's
it was a
actually
thing that,
kind of dope.
yeah, it was really cool, and I was like very fortunate to have one. And I played a lot of shit like Fire Emblem or like some of the old like Advance Wars games. It was good. It was just a it was like good for the GameCube, but the GameCube also didn't sell well, so therefore by extension this thing didn't sell well either.
I loved
But
the
honestly-
GameCube.
Why did the GameCube not sell well?
I don't know.
I should know this honestly, but I think
It competed with PS2, right?
yeah, I think it was something around like that kind of era.
Was it a
like,
rush job? Was it a rush job to compete with?
Kind of. Honestly, hardware wise, it was like not. It was like good or better than the PS2 even.
I think it
Like
was
in certain
late.
aspects. Yeah, it was late, but also it was like I think a lot of the games were pretty bad at first when it first came out. I could be wrong on that, but you had like stuff like I remember the initial release was like I think Sonic Adventure was one of the first releases with it. And I think we
Rough.
all know.
That is rough.
Well, Sonic Adventure was like a Dreamcast that transferred over.
Was the
But-
GameCube the only Nintendo console to use discs?
The mini discs.
Yeah, the
I
little
think so.
tiny discs.
Well, no, I mean the tiny discs.
Oh, the
yes, but I
Wii
mean,
used
the Wii-
discs. Yeah, I forgot
Wii.
about that. The Wii did use discs.
Yeah.
And then everything else they've swapped over to cartridges. Oh, these little discs are so cute. I remember the tiny little GameCube discs now.
Yeah. Those things got scratched all to hell. I fucking like they didn't work. Like it was so easy to fuck those things up. It was insane.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think I don't know. Maybe it was just like it was perceived as childish or something.
Yeah,
Because I do
maybe.
know that like I think like a lot of things were like that's why they added the silver color for the GameCube. Was that a lot of people complained about the purple being kiddish?
It does look like a toy.
Yeah, right. It
Yeah.
looks like something you find at McDonald's. Which honestly enough is why you probably found them in a lot of McDonald's for kids to play on
Mm-hmm.
back in the day.
Oh, I forgot about that too.
Yeah.
Wow. I remember standing up and getting tired on my feet playing at like Walmart,
Yes,
looking
sir.
up at those screens 20 feet above my head. Trying
yeah,
to...
it's like, the ones at Walmart were the best because you're just like snapping your neck backwards, staring straight at the sky.
So,
And then your mom comes back 2 hours later and you're like, hold on, mom.
with every other product that we've discussed today, I've been trying to think about how valid it would be modern, like right now. Obviously, if they re-released the Game Boy player on a GameCube, it would work. However, I think if they released like a little thing that plugs into the dock for the Nintendo Switch that plays like DS and 3DS games, that'd be
Yeah.
huge.
Agreed.
Yeah, I don't know why Nintendo doesn't ever want to try like harder to support backwards compatibility.
it looks like, I mean, here's an example. Like this looks like they did. Like this looks like they tried that, and I didn't even know it existed.
Old them.
That's true. Old Nintendo, true.
Like, they did the same thing with the 64, right? With the Game Boy cartridges.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep.
So like, it's a culture change. Clearly, something's happened, and they're like, "Oh, we don't want to do that anymore." Maybe they realized how lucrative remakes can be now.
Maybe that's why they don't sell their old games. When I started dating my girlfriend, and she told me she had never played a Legend of Zelda game, my natural reaction was, that's a completely normal thing to say, but we need to change that. And I wanted so badly to be able to find a way for her to play like a even slightly modern version of Twilight Princess or Majora's Mask or anything like that without having to go and buy like a retro console for it. And it's just like not an option legally. Like legally you can't do it, but yeah. We just have to remember the number one rule of life, just in case any gamer ever forgets. Nintendo hates you. Don't forget.
It's not wrong. Dude, the amount of times I've seen articles and stuff about Nintendo just like shutting down like tournaments for things that like is their fan base actively trying to support and like communities around it, and they're just like, no.
Yeah, my favorite story, and I'm sure we'll go into this again because we still have on our list of topics for this podcast, Nintendo in all caps. There was a Splatoon 2 tournament, I believe the first ever officially Nintendo hosted Splatoon 2 tournament, that the team that won was wearing t-shirts that said like #save Smash or #save Melee or something, because Nintendo was really shutting down people and trying to prevent them from playing Melee online. And because the team that won was wearing Melee shirts, Nintendo refused to give them their winnings. So that is scumbaggy enough, but the best part about it is that the winnings for the first place team in an officially Nintendo sanctioned tournament was $25, and they still wouldn't pay them out.
Wow, that's pretty bad, dude.
It's
Come
awful,
on,
dude.
Nintendo. That was like when fucking Menulog refused to refund me $20 for a meal that never arrived. It was like, dude, what are you putting up a fight for? You're a $1 million company. Give me my $20.
Yeah. a little bit off subject, but I remember specifically whenever there's a time Baldy ordered some food from like DoorDash or something like that.
Every time Baldy orders food.
Dude, yeah, but this time specifically was funny because he tried to debate it, and he was like, my food never arrived, and they were like, send us a picture showing proof that it never arrived.
Oh, that's my favorite.
And he's just like,
send an angry selfie.
Yeah, he just took a picture of his hand with like nothing in it. He's like, what else are you supposed to fucking do? What do you mean? I don't have the food to like take a picture of.
Bro, I had the exact same thing happen. They came to my door and they're like, they came to my door and then left, but then didn't leave the food there. So obviously the guy's like second guess. He's like, yo, I'm gonna eat this shit. I'm gonna say I delivered it. And so I took they're like, oh, can take a picture to prove it never arrived. So I just took a picture of my door with nothing in front of it. I'm like, what do you want? What am I meant to do here? Crazy.
Oh boy. Oh, I have another one on the topic of controllers designed for people with special needs.
Okay.
So this was the NES hands-free controller. This just looks like baby Conan O'Brien to me wearing this. I also want to point out this looks unbearably uncomfortable. Like it looks like a block of plastic. I don't see this being form-fitting. It's not like wrapping around his chest to comfortably sit against him. You can see
like something you use in Chem Lab in high school.
You can see the weight pulling down on his shoulders.
That looks like Isaac from Left 4 Dead. From Isaac from Dead Space. He's about to have his lobotomy.
Yeah, a little bit.
So I really like this controller. It wasn't commercially sold. You had to specifically contact Nintendo to get one. But the way it functioned is that there's this little black bit that sticks up here, and you rest your chin in that, and that acts as a joystick. So you move your chin around for motion control or for directional control. And then this little white bit sticking up here, you hold in your mouth, and blowing into it is like the A button, and sucking is the B button.
Yeah, there was a streamer thing that I saw at one point. that was like a dude who was the same thing. Basically, used a modern version of this to play like not Apex. It was Warzone, and he was like incredible at it. And he had like several different like inputs for like things to blow and suck into.
That's so
that
cool.
initiated like different commands, and so you'd constantly see him going back and forth and using it. And he was good. It was insane. I was like honestly like genuinely impressed. I wonder if I can find like a little clip of it. I
I've
wonder if
definitely
it's,
seen
like,
people
a
using them.
similar
I'd like to see it
idea.
either way, but
Yeah.
I think this is interesting because they went with like a, I don't know, they went with like a mobile choice. I think that's the thing that confuses me the most about this device, is that they were like, people are gonna need to be walking around with this, so let's dangle it around their neck like it's some weird jewelry, instead of like you set it down on the table and you play it from there. Where are you going? Where are you playing your Super Nintendo? It's not a Switch. You can't take it somewhere.
Well, I think the idea is that it's for people that can only use their head.
Wheelchair. That makes sense. I suddenly understand.
Yeah,
Yep.
That's the idea of it. Is like it's like the eye track thing we're talking about, where it's like accessibility.
Well, I know this was made purely for accessibility. I didn't think about the fact that it might be difficult for someone in a wheelchair to roll up to a table properly. But yeah, that makes complete sense now. It also does look flat enough on the bottom that you could use it on a table anyway. So
Yeah, I think it's probably designed for both.
I'm curious what these dials here are for. I'm not sure what any of these do. I couldn't find any information on it in this article either. But
Sensitivity?
maybe sensitivity makes sense. Yeah, I like this idea. Obviously, I can't say that I would buy one. But
No.
Debbie, if you look at screen cap comments, I actually sent the video of the dude
oh,
who
hell
actually
yeah,
like
okay.
plays Warzone. It's like 4 minutes long. We don't have to watch all of it, but
Yeah.
it's just interesting to see.
My name
Because
is
it's kind of like,
Rocky
if I remember
Steinberg,
correctly, there's
aka
different parts
Rocky
of
No
like the
Hands. I'm
apparatus
the
that
best
like
in the
on
world
the
at
same
playing
thing
video games with my
that do
mouth.
different like movements, and so it like changes like
If I'm not gonna be the best, I
you
don't want
see
to
like his
do it
head
at
going
all.
crazy,
These
like
lips are
turning all over the
deadly.
place. It's insane to me.
Right now, I
Crazy
focus
neck
mostly
muscles.
on Call of Duty
Right?
Warzone because it's the newest game out. Oh my god, that sucks for him. My highest kill game is 13, which is better than most.
That's pretty high in a battle royale.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've ever kept track of my highest skill game in any battle royale. Maybe I did in Apex. I should start keeping track of that.
Ooh, got another guy.
His aim is actually correct. I say that on a clip where he was kind of all over the place,
the
but
game I think
They're
I've
either
ever had
mind
would have been
blown
Hunt
or
Showdown,
like, what
and
are
I
you
had
doing
11
with your
kills.
mouth, you weirdo? You just
Like,
got
oh,
killed
yeah.
with
That's like a whole
and
lobby.
I want to reevaluate your hobbies.
Well, it's
Try
from Peter
already.
Revive.
The quad stick is it's just one joystick with 1, 2, 3 holes.
one
and a
joystick
side
with
tube.
3 holes and a side tube.
You can either sip or blow into any one or all of them at the same time. So if I want to shoot, I'm going to just blow into the middle. If I want to crouch, I sip on the right and center. You have one joystick.
Oh, that seems like it'd be so
around.
hard to remember all that.
Dude, right?
My
You say
tactics
that.
for most matches are
Think
just
about
to
the
drop,
controllers and
get your 10
keyboards that we
grand,
use
get your
and
load out, and
run
then
that.
grab the UAV.
Valid.
And we remember
pop
them
it,
because
and
they
you run to the
become
closest
second
guy in the
nature.
UAV and try
That's
to kill a
fair.
squad,
Yeah.
rinse, repeat. I would say I'm more of offensive player, but when you know that the situation's not good, it's time to tuck your tail between your legs and run. My favorite thing to do in COD right now is I like to snipe a lot.
This is awesome.
Get a lot of quick snipes.
Honestly,
These
right?
lips
Like,
deadly.
Dude, this is like the same, basically like thing that they were trying to do, but just I don't know. It's like a future version, so I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, this seems like definitely. If this were the first to use technology like this, I assume this was in gaming the first to use technology like the blowing and sucking to be different inputs.
I believe it was used for people who are quadriplegic to talk.
Right. I'm saying in gaming, this is probably the first example of it being used. But yeah, outside of gaming, this is pretty common. I feel like for that type of thing. But yeah, the modern version is. Can you imagine the price of that guy's setup versus this thing though? Astronomical, yeah.
It's gotta
Like
be
ridiculous.
insane.
Yeah.
are we
Anyway,
gonna
cool
talk about the
concept.
elephant
Would be
in the
nice
room?
to have it commercially available now if they made it better.
We're gonna talk about the elephant in the room.
I've been working on it, dude. What the fuck?
Which one's the elephant in the room?
The Nintendo Power Glove.
Okay, yeah, we are talking about that. Yeah.
baby.
I didn't put it on there because I knew someone else would talk about it.
You can't have a conversation like this without bringing up the power glove.
You got to, dude. I'm in.
Yeah.
Before we even go into the details of the Power Glove, I'm curious if either of you have ever even seen one in real life.
No.
I haven't.
I haven't either.
Nope.
What about chat? Has anybody in chat ever used one of these?
Dude, Fox would be the one person.
He
that
would be.
maybe
Fox would
is.
be.
Like, Fox is like, I own like 3 of these, one for each hand.
One for my dick.
Yeah.
Wait, did I not put? Hold on, I have to check if something's on my list.
The Nintendo Power Condom.
Oh my god, I didn't put it on my list. I'm insane. Okay, so we'll talk about this, and I have the perfect thing to talk about after it.
Okay. I don't even know what was this used for specifically?
Fox owns 2.
I own 2. Thank you. See, one for each hand. I fucking called it.
Dual wield.
But still.
Dual wield power gloves. Did they make left-handed power gloves?
I mean, I assume so.
So this looks like it was definitely made around the NES or SNES era. I didn't do a lot of research on this one because I assumed one of you guys would have it on your list.
I had it, but that was just because of a meme, and I just knew it existed. That was basically it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I know it was a massive failure. Just didn't work. Just even the things it was designed for just wasn't very user friendly. Wasn't very receptive. It was big, clunky. Your hand would sweat like hell.
It looks hot.
I can imagine like a bunch of people that put these on develop like cancer in their arms. Can't imagine this thing was good for you.
Nintendo intentionally irradiated them so that it would hurt their viewer base, their fans. Let's see.
They're just villains.
Right.
They're just villains.
Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if that came out and that was like an actual
We have
thing.
the cure to cure you.
That was Bethesda that did that, not Nintendo. Let's be.
Right.
Bethesda did that. It wasn't radiation either. It was like some fungus. So, but that's okay. I think only a couple people got hospitalized from that. But I'm looking at all the buttons. I'm not certain what the enter and program, I assume, buttons would do on this. I don't really know what NES or SNES games would accept these inputs. We have a slow-mo button, an unlabeled 0 button, and then A up, A down, A on, A off, and then the same things for A and B, and then a regular controller.
So 2 games released with it.
Okay.
Right, which is Super Glove Ball, which is a puzzle maze game, and Bad Street Brawler, which is a beat 'em up.
I want to see Super Glove Ball.
I don't believe either of the games sold very well. I think the cost of the glove was very expensive. I think it cost an arm and a leg.
I imagine at that during the 90s, a glove like that, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is like this does look like one of the Nintendo products that they put more love into, because it doesn't look really high quality, but like realistically, when you look at it compared to some of the other things that have been on our list today, this looks pretty well produced at the very least. Like obviously a lot of time and care went into this.
Yeah, they probably wanted this to be a flagship thing.
Mm-hmm.
This is like the next step in gaming type thing, but yeah, I don't think it's the one, Chief. It's just,
bro, oh, I can't even
infrared.
follow this. Okay, so it's like you're supposed to hit the balls back when they get close to the screen with your gloved hand, but it's like the depth is so weird. I can hardly tell.
Yeah, same.
Oh, the shadow on the floor helps a lot, actually. I think that's like 90% of the game is watching the shadow on the floor. Yeah.
It doesn't look good.
It doesn't look great. It's definitely ancient. It may have been fun for its time. I can't say for sure, but an interesting concept for sure. Sad it didn't go over well. Not sad that I don't need one to play games now.
Yeah, no. I mean, this shit will come back once, once VR starts really taking off.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. I mean, I've already seen a lot of like haptic hand controllers that have these arching things on the back that like pull your hands back whenever you're meant to be grabbing something. So it's meant to simulate resistance. Those are sick. Those are really cool.
But how expensive is it? That's probably gonna be, right? Like
the version I saw was not for consumer purchase. It was still in testing, and you had to have a whole backpack to power and make it function. So
can you imagine that?
Yeah, it's definitely not ready yet, but the technology exists, and potentially 10 to 20 years from now, maybe that's even overshooting. That'd be some cool stuff. The full dive is going to be scary. That's going to be the time I feel like a boomer.
It really is going to be hard to like know where the full dive is going to, kind of start.
That's the one time I'm going to be like the gamer boomer and be like, I won't. I would be too scared to like induce myself into a fake coma to dive into a VR game.
This is how Sword Art Online started, and that show sucks, so why would I want to do this thing to myself?
So, for a product like this, imagining it modernized.
You can get rid of the infrared.
You can get rid of the infrared for sure. You wouldn't need the whole knuckle thing on the front. Realistically, just the bit on your wrist would probably be way smaller, maybe even built into the glove, so it wouldn't look nearly as bulky.
Yeah, do you think it'd be like just a touch screen, like LCD kind of thing as well, or do you think it would still be like a pad?
Probably
pad kind of thing.
Not.
No, you wouldn't need that. So, like, the way I imagine it is, it'd work like the screens in VR do right now, where it's like you'd have a screen pop up in your VR thing, and you can just like type on it using your hand.
Interesting, dude. This is I don't know.
It's so hard to like know how to modernize it, because like I feel like behind the scenes, this has already been reinvented like 80 times. Like I feel like the game devs have been already working on like ways to modernize this, and so the ways they've done it, we probably we don't understand.
I'm trying to think of the simplest way, the realistic approach Nintendo would take, and for some reason part of me feels like that they would just sell you a really crappy, really comfortable glove to wear, or just a little like this little black wristband down here that looks like wraps around your wrist instead of the glove bit. It would just be this that attaches to a Joy-Con, and you wear a Joy-Con on your wrist.
Yeah.
I think that is the equivalent functionality of this device, is duct taping a Joy-Con to your wrist.
Yeah, because like Nintendo's always gonna take like the cheapest route to go as far as like how to make the thing like physically work, but at a minimalistic like proportion, right?
Yeah.
Because like even looking at like the Switch and everything, it's like so far behind as far as like hardware goes compared to like everything else. So it's like if Nintendo ever got into something like that, there's just I just can't imagine it, honestly. I think it would be too pricey for them.
So I kind of want to touch on this, but not right now. Nintendo Cardboard? Or Nintendo Labo, that's what it's called.
The Nintendo Labo, yeah.
I forgot about that until this conversation, because you said Nintendo always goes simple, and I was like, they made a whole console out of cardboard. I
honestly forgot about that stuff too, dude. That's actually insane that they got away with selling cardboard to kids and being like, hey, look, funny game. Dude,
they're such good salesmen. They can sell like
they literally sell the same Pokemon game to people every few years.
They're so good at what they do. They know how to market.
Yeah, no, I agree.
They know how to make the most average idea look like it's so much better than it is.
Joking toxicity about Nintendo aside, Nintendo has been around for ages, like long before game consoles were ever even remotely popular, selling toys and cards. So yeah, they had a head start when it came to like being a business compared to, I mean, I guess technically Sony's been around for a really long time, and Microsoft, but I feel like when they came into the games industry, it was almost like foreign to them, and they were kind of trying to ride off of other people's successes and made their way in. But
yeah,
apparently Nintendo also had love hotels. Very interesting.
What?
That's what Josie said.
No, I'm going off on a little bit of a tangent here, but Do some research.
All right, so what I really wanted to discuss following this up was I thought I put this on my list, but I guess I didn't. There was a Nintendo 64 version of the Power Glove that looked like this.
It looks like someone's in a carpal tunnel.
So this was the Nintendo 64 glove. I feel like it's best if I show you a very, like, I can try to skip through a video a little bit for you.
Yeah, I feel like I need a physical demonstration of how this thing fucking works.
I like just looking at this image, you're like, how do you wear this? How do you put this on? So, it's a really old, low quality video, but you can clearly see all your C-stick buttons, A, B, start up there. So your hand is gonna grab onto this gray section, and that's where all of your inputs will be. This is where the game goes in. I think. No. What is this? What is this for? Rumble Pack? Rumble Pack. That's
Yeah,
gotta be it.
maybe a
Yeah,
Rumble
Rumble
Pack. That's
Pack.
what it looked like, right? Because it was too thick to be like a game cartridge.
Joystick for your thumb. Yeah, I should have done more research on this one. I thought I had this on my list, but I guess I forgot to put it on there. And then here's him actually wearing it. So, looks more comfortable than the old SNES Power Glove. It also has like a lot more, like the wrist movement looks nice. You have all your buttons on your right hand. You've got the thumbstick. Like, everything's there. It still doesn't look great, but
that is definitely better designed.
Yeah, it's better.
100%. And you know, funnily enough, it's more in line with what we see with the more common VR controllers these days.
Yeah.
This is a lot
gonna
closer
come
to
back.
that.
But no one, as far as I'm aware, maybe it may be if Fox is around, he knew about this. But I feel like this is like
know this existed at
this
all.
just fell off the earth. I feel like.
Yeah, a lot of the retro guys would know. A
Yeah.
lot of the retro guys would know. Probably own one.
This one I would be much more open to trying to use than the regular Power Glove.
This looks like something you pilot a mech with.
True.
Like, I feel like this is gonna come back around one day when we have our own mechs, whenever that's gonna be.
It looks really comfortable.
We have
though.
our
It's quite
own
nice.
mechs. Sorry, let me go to the shops real quick in my mech.
Ooh, Fox hasn't even seen one in real life. Ultra rare.
Sheesh.
It gets a gold shining ultra rare star for the N64 Power Glove.
How much does it cost
mean,
on Amazon or eBay?
Let's see.
This is a good point. Also, it literally looks like a wrist brace for someone who's sprained their wrist. It doesn't even look like an
Not
actual
that
gaming thing.
expensive.
There's a
Damn, I
place.
thought it'd
Someone
be
made a
way more.
PlayStation version.
Oh my
That's
God,
actually
they
pretty.
did.
That's actually pretty cool.
Hey yo. Okay, so yeah, it looks like $180 ish. Someone made a Power Glove lamp. Hold on, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have gotten distracted this easily, but
Honestly, that's cool.
okay. So yeah, it looks like 180 used on eBay. And then most of these are also just Power Glove because that's what Google thinks I'm talking about.
Can you imagine getting that bad boy used and you like start to put it on? You look at the gray, like yellowish plastic again. You're like, oh man, again.
Would you like
this one's been
another?
to the ringer.
Would you like another doozy on the PC side?
Let's see it.
Let's go
Okay,
for
so
it.
this is
Finally
called
step
the
away from
Alpha
Nintendo.
Grip AG5, and I'm going to show you two things on this.
Oh no, I hope this isn't what I think it is.
This one here looks disgusting.
Okay.
This is Gamer Gunkified. All right,
Gamer
it's-
Gunkified, okay. We talked about Gamer Gunk a lot on my stream the past 2 days looking at these controllers.
Look,
So.
it is very gunky. I'll show you the website after this though.
Ugh.
Yes,
It comes
okay.
up
I
on my
have
website.
really good images of this one actually.
Yes, this is the Alpha Grip AG5.
So I found their
And
Facebook page.
I found their website.
Oh, sheesh.
Yeah. And it's bad. It looks like HTML4.
Here we go. This is what I found for them. These had some pretty good images of it though, at least 2. These were the best images I could find. So yeah, I'll let you describe it if you'd like. I've got info as well.
Yeah. So basically, it works as either a controller, which it has up, down, left, right inputs, but as you can see, they are overlaid over the top of CYKL. And as you can see, they're not like in the the regular cross pattern. Instead,
It's a square.
It's a
they're
clover.
square. It's a
Yeah.
clover, and it looks over the years. So your top left is to move up, your bottom left is to move down backwards.
This is a nightmare for rhythm gamers. An actual nightmare.
So bad. It's so bad. It's so unnecessary. So unnecessary. And then you got the trackball there.
Yeah, the ball. This is your mouse or a joystick.
So gross, dude. So gross. Would you like to see that website?
Sure. I'll also really quickly flip to the back just in case you hadn't seen a picture of it. I assume there was one on the back, but
I know.
the back is interesting.
Yeah.
So I wanted to point out about this.
Where do you put your fingers ever?
This is meant to be a fully functioning keyboard in its entirety. And you will notice that this is the most important thing that stuck out to me. There's green and red numbers all over it, or symbols. The green and red symbols are all over the place, confusingly, because there's a regular shift key and then a green and red shift key.
Yep.
So you have to know not only which key has the correct shift button. Oh, that's the guy who made it, I think. I don't know. Maybe some random person. Anyway, you have to know which key it's assigned to and which shift button to use properly to get the input you want.
So dumb. So dumb. Alright, here's their website. And this is a still full functioning website, by the way. Look how bad this looks.
Oh, I was here. I thought this was fake.
Nope.
Dude, this looks like they got a cutout of Nintendo Power and they posted it on their fucking website. What is this?
Next gen texting demo.
Amazing.
I can't
So
wait
good.
for it, honestly.
They definitely missed an opportunity here. They should never have any button that says buy a grip. It should be get a grip.
True.
It's
true.
God, it doesn't like. I see what they're trying to do. Like, you know, you got the guy sitting back there on
Playing World of Warcraft.
He's playing World of Warcraft.
A lot of
which is
inputs
good
required for that
control.
game. Yeah.
But man, this ain't the way to do it. Could you imagine trying to do your inputs on that controller?
The evolution of writing speed. They think this is gonna outspeed QWERTY keyboards.
Man, someone should have told him.
Bro, look how pretentious this website is! In 3000 BC, using the ground as their desk, cavemen used chisel and stone to generate words at a rate of about 5 per hour. Thousands of years later, in the 15th century, man had progressed to a writing speed of 10 words per minute with a quill pen on parchment. What the fuck,
I
bro?
do like that this is only they are like,
asshole.
this is the ultimate form of typing that you will ever get to.
Yeah.
This controller, it will make you the
This.
fastest typer in the West.
This is what all of human technology has led us
Alright,
to.
guys, I
Years of
will
evolution.
gift a sub to whoever goes and challenges any big streamer to type racer and with that controller and wins.
A
You get
sub.
a single sub.
It's
I
not
get a
worth
single
buying
sub.
the controller, just saying, but...
Alright, you
on
get
that
2
brand.
subs.
What a wild controller.
Oh, dude, it's so funny.
Oh man, it's. Alright, the labo, it's gonna be done. Now, I'm
Yep.
gonna quickly use the bathroom.
Yeah, that's fair.
Go for it, homie.
We'll discuss the lab when you get back. While Jamie's up and away,
Sorry, chat, I'm a bit sick still.
Tom, thank you for the raid. I'm going to go back. Elim as well from earlier. Thank you very much for the raid earlier. I didn't get to say hi to my mom. I'm sad. I don't like to read every message out loud on stream, just the very relevant ones, but I wanted to say hi to my mom. So late hi to mom if you're still lurking.
Hi, Mom.
Need to see more podcasts? Well, you came just the right time. We're about to discuss Nintendo's customizable cardboard controllers that they released a little while ago. Hey, Brutal, how you doing?
Filthy, dude. Ugh.
Oh, man. Tom, how was your stream? What'd you do? Shovel Knight? I need to play Shovel Knight. I used to mix up Shovel Knight and Hollow Knight all the time.
Same, honestly.
Until I played Hollow
Also,
Knight. Now,
Doesn't Shovel Knight have like a co-op now?
I think so. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Double check.
I think there's a way, right?
Hollow Shovel. That'll be a good crossover. Ooh, Sundiver with the gun one too. All right. Hear me out though. The best crossover name for Hollow Knight and Shovel Knight, Hollow Knight.
I like it. Let's go. Ship it.
Shovel Knight.
No, that one's stupid.
Oh, okay.
Go back
I'm
to
sorry.
Hollow Knight. That one was really good.
I'm sorry. I've got the wiki page pulled up. I don't even know where I would find like multiplayer. I probably should have just looked it up on Steam, honestly.
Also, guys, exclamation point HelloFresh in case you wanna, snag yourself a little box or something. Maybe support Devi. He's cool and also get food.
True chat. It is actually, unironically, a really good deal.
Yeah, legitimately.
Like, I think we looked up the cheapest price, and normally it was like $75, I think, for 2 meals for 2 people, and with this deal, it's like $23.
Yeah,
and then
cheap.
the most expensive option without the deal is like $190, and then with the deal, it's like, I think $89. So, like, it's actually an insane discount, and it's a discount for your next 6 purchases if you keep subscribing. So you keep the deal for a while. It's actually, like, it blows my mind. Also, it's just good. I'm not trying to just shill for HelloFresh. I literally had HelloFresh as a meal for the past 3 days in a row, and they're incredible.
Yep, I use it all the time now, honestly. Ever since I've had a bunch of friends that were streamers that have been getting sponsored and stuff, I've been using those codes over and over again. And dude, honestly, it's insane. It's just such good food. And also it gets you to cook, which I don't know if y'all are like me, but I'm lazy as fuck. And so like having any reason to like have pre-prepared ingredients and make it as easy as possible for my dumb little brain is good.
So I see shared/split screen co-op. So I'm not sure if it has like online co-op. I think it might be local.
Interesting.
For Shovel Knight. Someone can correct me on that.
I remember at least at one point it was like I think it did have the amiibo or the amiibo or whatever thing, like the little statue that came with like a lot of.
Oh, we could have talked about those. I forgot about all those.
I honestly forgot about them too until we talked about Shovel Knight.
Yeah, that was like the Nintendo thing where you get a little statue of Mario and put it on top of the touchpad and it just does stuff, right? Okay, yeah, I've never seen one of those. Huh.
Local
Thank you, Race, by the way.
Exclusive at the time.
Hydrate yourself, Chunk.
Okay.
Delphin says I found a really weird keyboards in the shape of the hand. For the past 2 days, all I've been doing for the first half of my stream was doing my podcast research on stream. So I just had like 90 things piled up on a Word document that Chad had recommended, and I carefully shaved it down to about 25. What are you pointing out?
Bottle. Sorry. No, I just threw a bottle.
Okay. I have a whole collection and have some rare Japan only amiibos. Ooh. Are there any games that like modern, currently still played actively very often games that use amiibos, or? I feel like I haven't heard about them in like 2 years, 3 maybe.
I don't know.
I don't think so, Fox.
What is it? The Steel Battalion controller?
Yeah, let's look it up. What is this?
That's not a controller. That's a game. That's a.
This is the hard part of your mech that you were talking about earlier. This is the
other half. Yeah. What the fuck?
This is pretty sick.
I'm sorry, why is there a third pedal? Is my fucking nuts supposed to rest on that thing? How am I supposed to press it? I only got 2 feet.
What do you mean? You use 2 pedals with 1 foot in a normal car.
No sir, not me. I only press gas. I never use the other one.
Also, if we're going to be talking about weird controllers, I didn't want to go too deep into the subject, but I just thought that I would kind of bring this on camera for just a moment.
Yeah, the hitbox.
Handmade, baby, let's go. It's kind of sloppy in there, but I still need to get Phoenix's help I want to put some red LEDs in it.
Ooh. Pretty dope.
Y'all never been in a car that has 3 pedals? Yes, every manual.
Yeah, I would say like every manual that has a clutch. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Also, the vibe that I had in that sentence was mostly for Chunk for thinking it's weird to have 3 pedals.
It is weird, alright? Automatics only. Let manuals die out. All right, they're disgusting.
Take that baby to LAN. I'm trying to imagine what games you would play on this, like modern games. It's got
Battleship.
I assume so. There's like 4 to 6 buttons over here on the left joystick on the base of it. You have a shifter that goes through reverse, neutral, and up to 5th gear. A knob.
That's for the radio.
20 buttons on the central platform. 3 pedals. Either 6 or 9 buttons here, 3 more here. You have a fancy button in like an emergency flip case over here.
That's the one that ejects you out of the seat. I know that one. You're not gonna trick me into pressing
That's
that
Alt F4. That button's Alt F4.
It just deletes all your save files, just deletes everything. It's just an absolute fuckery button that they put on there just for the intents and purposes of messing with people. That'd be awesome.
Drago said I like mech games. I feel like that makes sense. This does look like something that would be used for mech games. Automatic should be 1 pedal go, and the braking is also automatic.
I just like to think the pedal is like really big and is also green and does say go on it, and that's literally it.
Yeah, go ahead and send it, Delton. You're allowed to send links in here. It's okay. We just manually delete links.
Boom, 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 boom.
Yes, I have seen these.
What is this?
So from my understanding, each of your fingers has 4 buttons to interact with, 3 or 4 buttons. So there's like a press down and then like a move your finger up to push this button forward and then this button to the side and then there's a down button.
Oh, I have seen someone use this. This was like nuts.
Yeah, these are cool. I really like the design. As far as like ergonomics, it looks comfortable to put your hand in.
Yeah.
This looks like the closest thing that would make sense to me as a non-console PC-only controller.
Yeah.
They are pretty expensive.
Honestly, they are pretty pricey, but honestly, not as pricey as I would have thought something like that would have been, right?
Yeah, right. I would have shot like $200-300 or something like this.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's like so niche that you think that the few people that are gonna buy it, you like want to get your money's worth out of it.
Very niche, almost custom. It feels like because of how niche it is. Obviously, we'd go for the edgelord red one.
Yeah, do I send them a mold of my hand so they can get one that fits me from my tiny ass baby hands? Because otherwise, I'm fucked.
Pretty neat. I'm wondering how exactly it works because Delton described it as a keyboard. So does that mean that this is meant to be used for typing? Because I've always seen these as like a weird controller instead.
I've seen people use it for typing, and it's actually insane like how fast people can type with those things. But like I never like I knew it was like a controller, but for some reason I never really thought of like how it would be used in that aspect.
Isn't it also like a mouse? Oh, does it move around too? These were left-handed, the ones we were looking at. These were designed clearly for your left hand. So I put them off screen here. These were definitely designed for your left hand to use these. So I don't think these would be a mouse. I could be wrong. Let's see. Blog? No, probably forum. FAQs. Sorry to break the illusion. Oh.
Yeah. And he said Big Chunk got small hands. What the fuck?
Oh, does this work on console? That's an interesting question from someone with a Mario profile picture. It's not going to work on your Switch.
Do this work on my PS2?
It works on any console that supports mouse and keyboard input.
Interesting. Okay.
Oh, it is mechanical. Nice. The keys have a clicky feel like a mouse, not a keyboard. That's interesting.
Really?
Yeah.
What's that feel?
Most complaints about build quality come from people who don't own our keypads and presume that it's bad because it's 3D printed. Many of our customers compliment us on the print quality, however.
Okay. Why that sound so passive aggressive? The people who call our product shit don't know what they're talking about.
They're wrong.
They're
You should
wrong.
watch this person's we like this guy's review. He really
Meanwhile-
nailed it.
Kevin over here.
We only gave him $5,000, but man, he gave us a glowing review.
Yeah. Definitely not a paid actor. Is real.
Hope Jamie's feeling okay. He said he wasn't feeling well before today. That's why we started late.
Sick boy.
Sick boy.
Sick boy, and then Airvan stuck in the middle of nowhere, as far as I know.
Sure, Ray, send it. Let's see it.
I'm all about the
I am
details
having
right now.
Airvan. We've still got Airvan on the clock tonight, though, Chad. Don't worry. Just because he's not here doesn't
Yeah.
mean he's not working for joysticks and mouse clicks.
Of course.
I've set him hard at work to try to figure out how to put these stupid episodes on
We're not
Spotify.
paying anyone for like things that they're not working for, right? So obviously he's gonna be on the clock.
Hold on. If this is my show, how are you guys getting paid? Because I'm not getting paid.
You're not getting paid?
No.
That's wild, dude. I can't believe this. Hey, can we cut to commercial real quick?
Cut to commercial. Hold on. I got this.
Yeah.
Hold on. Well, technical difficulties. Hold on, chat.
Quick, someone just play a copy of the Truman Show or something.
What
What is this?
Hold on.
Mobile home commercial.
Hold on. We just gotta cut to commercial. It's taking me so long to cut to commercial. Like,
Sponsored by Mobile Homes.
dang it! Commercial time, chat. But we'll be back after these short messages.
Hi, I'm Robert Lee. I own Coleman Liquidation. I sell mobile homes. I'm not gonna waste your time. I'm gonna tell it just like it is. These are mobile homes, not mansions. They come in two pieces. If that's what you're looking for, that's what I got. They're used. Some of them have stains. We cover that up. She decorates them. She sells them. These guys help me move them. A bouncer in Birmingham hit me in the face with a crescent wrench 5 times. And my wife's boyfriend broke my jaw with a fence post. So if you don't buy a trailer from me, it ain't gonna hurt my feelings. So come on down to Coleman Liquidation and get yourself a home. Or don't. I don't care.
Wow.
No.
Wow, what a message from Coleman Mobile Homes. Wow.
Amazing.
Definitely a huge appreciation for that sponsorship today.
Is this mobile home a controller? It probably could be, you know?
Amazing. Yeah, sorry, I might need to do one of those every now and then. Just for guts.
Oh my god.
And then Raced wanted to show us before we cut back to our normally scheduled content.
I've
This
seen that
monstrosity?
outside.
Yeah, I've seen people use
looks
this.
like
I had a
Hal
couple
from
friends that use that.
Space Odyssey.
So Race, is this the right one? Is this the mouse you use?
Yeah, I knew that there was like it was a long time ago actually, but like there was a time where people used, instead of like actually like using like a trackpad kind of thing, would just use like the ball like in a mouse just to like scroll and like move it around.
You use a wireless
very-
version. Wow. How accurate is it? Does it, okay. I don't know how to ask this question. If you're moving your hand like a normal mouse across your desk, does it still work that way too? Or do you have to use the roller ball with your left finger? That's what I need to know.
Well, but then here's the problem. If that is the case, then whenever you roll the ball but also slightly move the mouse, does it like double the speed? Like, are you
Imagine.
accidentally fucking yourself over?
Every time you shoot, you press down on the ball with left click and your aim goes.
Oh my god.
This is an
You play
interesting mouse.
competitive games of this?
Yeah, Super Monkey Ball.
Ray said I game with it all the time. Bro, actually, this would be a really.
Yeah, but gaming competitive game.
Yeah, Super Monkey
difference.
Ball. What do you mean?
No fingers to move. Moving the thing itself does nothing. Okay, so it's just the ball. Interesting. Okay. Thank you for sharing. I've been looking at mice recently. Nothing outlandish like this. I've been just looking at like a non-Razer version of a mouse that has this many buttons on the side because I got so addicted to playing games with every hotkey I could ever want under my thumb. So, anyway, let's get back to it. We were about to jump into Labo, which I have never even seen the box of in a store. I remember seeing the commercials. I did not plan for this to be a part of the discussion today, but I thought of it earlier when Chunk was saying something, so I want to look into it. How much do you guys know about it?
I remember seeing,
very little.
Yeah, I just remember seeing. I've seen a kid who had this like back. I don't even remember how many years ago it was. Like
my experience with this is seeing it and going, "Well, that looks fucking stupid," and then not looking at it again.
It's just like, I don't know.
How does it work? So like, I'm looking at the piano. Let's look at the piano. I'm looking at this. There's clearly buttons on screen. I assume you hit piano keys to hit these. They line up correctly with the keys.
Yes.
That's
it, as far as I know.
What's being pressed back here? Are the Joy-Cons slotted in just the right way?
I actually don't believe that's even true. I believe the only thing that really worked with this was motion control.
It's done with infrared ? Sensors on the red Joy-Con. Huh. I want to look up a video of the Labo.
I do. I want you to too.
Let's watch. I want to see. I didn't realize you were such a neck deep fan.
I've been listening to Neck Deep a lot actually lately.
Love it.
They're very good. I like their covers. It was too damn much for a cardboard cutout. How much was it sent over? I forgot. Or rather, it was Nintendo, so I never looked at it.
There's no way it was $300, right?
Wow, I hate this audio.
It was like 50. It was $50 is what it's showing for right now.
Is it? It was 50 or it is 50 now?
It's 50 on Amazon. It's $49.90.
Oh, okay. So the red controller does get slotted in at the back. Yeah, I assume Advi's right. I think it is like some sort of a sensor from the. Wow, these are weird. These are so weird. Do you know what this is? This is Nintendo going, we've had so many ideas for weird controllers these days. Let's just let them make them. Like, why do we spend so much money pumping out these mediocre quality, bizarre interfaces when we can just sell them a cardboard version and let them make it for us and they'll have fun with it?
You know what this is? You remember when Kanye West made that shifty-whippy-boop control?
I do.
And I feel like Kanye was just seeing what kind of weird shit he can make anyone buy. I feel like this is Nintendo saying, like,
what can we sell to people?
Can we charge them $50 a cardboard?
I think Nintendo just went to their local like Pizza Hut and was like, "Hey, can we buy all your boxes and we're gonna remake them?"
Okay, all right. Look, I get most of these. I understand most of these. What was that bird?
Yeah.
I mean, that's it. That's the whole thing.
Is there even a controller in it? Like, oh, okay. I see. No. I see the red Joy-Con is the head. That's the beak. Is the red Joy-Con. But
what does that do? Yeah,
I don't know.
Like, it's not showing the game. There is no game. Okay, the robot thing is the only game we've actually seen that works with this.
Yeah, true. That's like the only gameplay we've seen. Oh wait, hold on. I'm gonna go back to that. There was like a diagram that seemed to.
Yeah, say.
Okay. This is the piano. This is the inside of the piano. This is exactly what I wanted to know. So yeah, the infrared sensor is placed in first, and it detects some sort of movement from the keys whenever you press each key. Maybe there's like a reflective surface on the back of every key, and that's what it's picking up. That's cool. I think that's an interesting way to use that technology for sure.
Also, by the way, I'm gonna wait until it's over.
Okay. This thing looks like a lot. Some of these things look like it was a whole day project to just build the controller.
Yeah, but Daddy, you can color it customize. And that's the fun.
That is actually the way to sell me something like this. Personalization, I love it. Okay.
So I want
Good release date.
The price was not $50. That was for the base set that didn't include the wheel or the pedal or the like backpack thing that we saw. The total like things of all of them together is $103.55
For cardboard.
for cardboard, boys. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Nintendo in a nutshell.
How well did Nintendo Labo sell? They're reportedly planning a million units by the end of 2018.
There's no way. By the end of 2018?
Yeah. Yeah, and they released it in April.
$100 million of cardboard in a year.
So,
dude,
eight months.
Station that doesn't even make it to 1 million, and meanwhile Nintendo's over here just like, yeah, we sold 1 million units of cardboard, and these other gaming companies can't even get off the ground. That's gonna be so demoralizing.
It didn't reach the height of popularity Nintendo hoped for. They were like, man, only 1 million? We only sold $1 million of cardboard?
That's insane. That's actually
sorry,
nuts.
1 million units of cardboard, not $1 million. Woo! Wow. Okay. Well, that one wasn't intended to be a part of the discussion, but I'm glad that it was there.
No, but yeah, because it's like it's a very interesting thing of like. I don't even know. I don't even know what to think about Nintendo Labo at this point, honestly. I did think that the backpack, like, robot thing was cool. Like, weirdly enough, I was actually kind of, like, into that segment where it was, like, even though it's very simplistic and, like, it is cardboard at the end, but even my brain was just like, I'm happy with this. But I'm not going to spend, like, $50 on just that one thing, so.
You said you had something else you wanted to bring up, too. Is there something that the Labo segued well into, or?
I think it was just the thing, like the prices. That's what I was talking
about. Gotcha. Okay. In that case, because of Raced's mouse that we saw with the big ball on it, I have a controller that's similar that I wanted to bring up, called the Space Orb 360. Oops.
Okay.
So
you know what? That's simplistic enough. I'm here with it so far.
There's 6 buttons and a ball. I don't see how this would function on any console with any game. They just stuck a ball on this thing. However, I did a little bit of research because I was curious of what this would be used for, and apparently this was very popular for a short time for games like Quake, Quake 2, and the Half-Life engine, because of the movement system that those games used was really, really good for a ball like this. Most games have stepped away from the same movement system that those types of games used, so this controller has fallen out of practice or popularity.
So in other words, race trackpad.
Yeah, race trackpad. I was trying to see, I think Half-Life 2 was the last thing that officially supported this controller.
I'm trying to picture how.
I know, right?
I'm like, how do you even like go about holding it?
So I think, my question is, you have either movement or aiming on the ball, and then there isn't enough buttons for the other part. So yeah, like, I don't understand how this is meant to work. But I wanted to include this on here because this looks like the type of controller that you would remember dreaming about the night before, because it doesn't quite look right. It's morphing shape every time you take your eyes off of it. It doesn't quite make any sense at all, but it's close enough that you can tell the DNA of a controller's in there.
That is just weird.
It's weird.
It makes me physically uncomfortable to look at it, actually.
Really?
And I don't know. Yeah, it's just because the big ball, dude, just doesn't make sense to me. Like, how thick is this controller that ball has to be able to like rotate freely? and like move the way it needs to.
That's
Like,
what
how
interests me the
bulky is
most
this
is
thing?
how does it have a full range of movement if it's like detached mostly from the thing? Because I feel like
Yeah,
most
right?
roller balls are encased in all but like the small amount of bit that you interact with. But this
Yeah,
is
same.
the opposite. It's completely exposed on all sides, and I feel like
So I have something that's one of the ones I was going to bring up.
Mhm.
And having looked at this, I feel like my version is the better version of that.
oh, I want to see it.
Microsoft Sidewinder Dual Strike.
Yes, dude, I have this one on my list too. Okay,
Yeah.
this is another controller that I was like, I think I would play with this. I would try it. Oh, I didn't pull up any images for it. I must have missed this one when I was compiling my imagery. This controller is wacky, dude. Yeah, this
But
one
let's
I
see how
actually
it
think
would
looks
work.
cool.
That's a hair dryer. That's not even a controller, dude.
Do you want to explain how this one works, or do you want me to while you eat?
Yeah, so you have your movement on your thumb there, up the top left, and your mouse control is by swiveling the right hand side of the controller. And it was designed for FPS games.
The whole
And so it
right
still
hand.
still fully functions as a controller, but then you have like really free movement on the right hand side. And I actually don't hate this thing.
I don't either. It was designed to compete with mouse and keyboard because of the freedom of accuracy with a mouse, by making the whole right half completely swivelable, and that's how you aim. I feel like it would take a long time to get used to, but I actually think that this could be a competition for mouse and keyboard for console.
How much is this?
Let's see.
I need to know, because honestly, I'm interested in trying this thing out.
Right? This one looks really cool. This is one of the ones, 25 bucks on eBay. This is one of the ones where I was like, man, this actually looks like a controller. I feel like it's kind of a shame it flopped. I think the visual design and the ergonomics is absolutely its greatest
Yes.
downfall. It doesn't look
Yeah, I agree.
good. It looks low quality. It looks bad. But like the concept is there.
Telling you put some Guy Fieri like flames on the controller, sells like immediately. But that being said, I agree. I think honestly, like the idea behind it is pretty like actually like good. But like it just doesn't. I mean, I don't know what the back of the controller looks like, so it's kind of hard to say like as far as like depth and grip and how it like actually feels.
Doesn't
in your
look
hands.
grippy. Yeah, it looks like it'd slide out of your hands pretty easy.
Yeah, it's like slick, right? Or at least that's how it looks. That
Looks
does
like
not
a
look
PS2 controller plastic.
Yeah.
So,
No, it's just
Advi in chat asked, wouldn't your aim be capped at the sides? And I assume you mean by like, once you've rotated it fully to one direction, you wouldn't be able to aim that way anymore. Two things, two speculations rather. Speculation number one is that it functions similar to a joystick in that sense. Once you have it at the extreme, it
It just
just
keeps turning.
turns at a steady rate, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, I would say that.
Option two, when I was getting really sweaty in Overwatch and wanted to be good at gaming, I was recommended to have my mouse sensitivity synchronized to my desk space, because the goal was to have it to where from my mouse in the middle of my desk, when I move my mouse to the furthest right that I possibly can, I should do a perfect 180, because if I needed to look further than that in that direction, I should have looked the other way. So
However, if you put Nintendo colors on this, it'd sell so much.
Nintendo fans would be like, why are they attached?
Nintendo fans would just buy this up.
Why'd they put them together like that? That's weird. Sorry.
Why is it two? Is it two controllers? Why not?
It's the right one for my little brother when I tell him he's definitely playing the game. I don't.
That's whenever y'all find out that y'all are both wrong and it's not actually a controller that swivels. You just like put your thumb down and spin the ball. It's actually just like a freeform thing for like a
Stress
mouse.
relief.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a stress relief ball. I just squish it.
This one, yeah. So I think this one and the NegCon that we looked up earlier, that was the rotating steering wheel. Those were the two that I was like, these are weird, but I would try them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what were the like slots along the sides? Is that just like for heat? Like what did like vents?
Good
almost?
question. I'm not really sure what those are for. I couldn't find a lot of information about this controller. It doesn't have a wiki page either, from my knowledge. I couldn't find one. This is about the most data that I could find on the controller. So, attempted to blend mouse and gamepad functions in a single unit, plugged into the PC using a USB. Unique features, the right side can be twisted around. Yeah, that's about it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not much more than that. Just
Yep.
Just
I would like to know. I also have the same questions as Adby. My answers were just speculations on how they would deal with that issue, but I would... Chunk, if you look like you're thinking about it. If you end up picking one of these up, I really want to know how this plays.
I actually am. Like, I'm hardcore, like, considering it. It's because I think it'd be fucking whack for someone to just come on stream and like, oh yeah, time to hop on old Warzone. Just fucking pull that bad boy out.
Yo, we're talking about the Labo. Didn't we have like an entire pack of shit that came with Wii Sports?
Did it? I don't remember that.
Did it? I think there was like, I actually kind of
Pretty
remember
sure
what
it
you're
did.
talking
And,
about.
like,
It had like baseball bat, like
You would put,
extension
like-
kind of things. You put the Wii remote in it or whatever, right? Is that what you're talking about?
Wii remote in like a tennis racket.
Yeah, there was things like that.
It didn't
Yeah,
come with
and-
Wii
and,
Sports,
like-
but you could get them, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. That's like the Proto Lab, right?
True, actually, maybe. Something
Yeah,
similar.
but we were also talking about like the amiibos earlier, like while you were gone, because of like Shovel Knight and how it's like you could use the amiibo to do like local co-op on Shovel Knight. So it's like there's oh my god.
I love images like these. Hold on, I'm not showing them on screen. Here we go. This is the legacy of the Wii.
Yeah, it's just people constantly throwing it. Dude, okay, the question, did they start out with like the screen that showed it was like, make sure your wrist strap is like
Yeah,
on or
every
whatever?
game did. Yeah.
I'm just wondering if it had that at the beginning of its life before, or if it like didn't think it would be a necessary.
I think they
like,
did. I think they knew before they ever sent them out. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they were like, this needs to be on like before you even see the title screen of the console. Despite that, I know dozens of people.
Someone would have done it.
My roommate Jazz is one of them who, whenever we play VR out in the living room, refuses to put the wrist straps on. You're playing VR. You don't know whose head you're aiming at when you're flinging your arms around in Beat Saber. You got to use those wrist straps, man, or else this is gonna happen.
Jazz lives free and wild, and he can't be tamed. I understand. That's fine.
You can't do this anymore, but I remember a time on the internet when the Wii was new and pictures like this would pop up, and the first gut instinct that I had when I saw a picture of a broken TV was to look for the sensor bar for the Wii.
Yep.
Yeah, no, like it. I remember them all popping up and everyone going, just use the straps. Oh, the straps are uncomfortable. It's like, no, it's
So?
more uncomfortable spending $3,000 on a new TV.
Yeah.
Just strap
Yeah,
up.
definitely.
So the reason I originally brought up the ball controller, the Space Orb, it is weird, but that one I actually was going to scrap from my list, except for the fact that because of the weird orb thing popping up on a lot of controllers, my chat and I went down a rabbit hole, and we found this thing called the Tangent Ripple Trackball Controller,
Oh my God.
which
I'm
is
just looking at
this.
thing. This is just a control panel from Star Trek, dude. Like, what the fuck is going on here?
So I wanted to
What's the point of
specify,
this?
before we go too far into it, I want to specify this is not designed for video games. This is just something that we found down a rabbit hole from controllers that I wanted to bring up because I thought that it was hilarious. This is designed for graphic design, video editing, image editing, things like that. And I don't get how it works at all. I tried to read their website. It didn't make sense to me, but they sell, this is a brand new product. This is like, it came announced like a few months ago.
Looks pretty.
It does look cool, but like, it is designed for editing software. It is bizarre. I just felt like I would include it because it matched the theme. Kind of like a
I just
mixing
don't
board.
know how- Yeah, but like, I'm trying to think of like in what situations while editing would you ever use like the 3 different balls and like what would they, other than maybe like dimensions and like depth, like to adjust those or like more accurately. I don't know.
So Advi gave one good example. It's good for color correction. One of the examples that made the most sense to me was like, I mean, you would just use a mouse for it normally, I feel like, but selecting like a specific color off of the color gradient palette using the balls to precisely like, I mean, obviously that, you know, they're going to try to sell it as much as they can with whatever way they can, but
idea, use numbers.
Yeah, I was saying they're all like number coded. So it's like, also I feel like using that thing, you're gonna overroll.
Yeah.
Like so often, like how sensitive is it, right? Otherwise you're just gonna like constantly overshoot what you're looking for.
This might not be a real image of one. This could be a heavily doctored image, but it looks pretty high quality. Like it looks like a good product. I know you can buy a pack of the 3 red balls for $45.
For what reason?
I mean, they're shiny balls. What other reason do you need? To eat. Okay.
To eat, yeah.
Anyway, I didn't want to stay on this one for too long. I just thought that this would be a funny thing to bring up because I stumbled upon it.
Interesting. I wish Aravan were here. He probably could like help us like say further like how it would be used.
Well, do you want to bag Aravan controller that got released?
Let's see.
Type in
okay
Resident Evil chainsaw controller that came with the PS2.
Yeah, we both talked about this one the other night.
Yeah, we talked about this one beforehand. They made a PlayStation version. Cool. There was a GameCube version. I'm not sure if there's more versions than that, but I know for a fact there was a PlayStation and a GameCube version. This one is iconic.
It's so good.
So cool. This is just off memory.
Yeah. This I remember was the first time that I saw a like functional controller that looked like not a controller out in the world.
Yeah.
But I have seen one of these. I've never played on one, but I definitely have seen one. It looks super uncomfortable just because of where the handholds are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want someone to beat Elden Ring on this thing.
Bet.
Like everyone talks about like the Guitar Hero guitar and DDR pad. Like let's fucking get them on this.
Yeah, actually, wait. Where are the triggers?
They're underneath they're where they.
It's a little pull handle. You have to just like yank it like.
Yeah, no, there's one. You see where his left hand is? There's one there. There's one underneath his right hand.
Oh yeah, it would be like on the triggers, right?
Yeah.
Oh, they're on the triggers. God, that feels like it'd be so awkward to get used to. Thumbs all the way up top, fingers down here on the triggers.
Oh, probably, right? Like, but like, you know, it's more aesthetic than actual functionality, right? For the most part.
Yeah, it's more of a collectible, really.
Yeah.
I mean, that's for sure. What's this button
like, you
do?
look at that, it's probably like. Oh, actually, I was gonna say pause, but then I looked at the pause
Yeah,
button, like right above it, and I was like, wait.
Do you have to pull the cord to turn the controller on? Yes.
God, I hope so.
No, I don't believe you do. I think that was just visual. Can you pull it? Have you used one? Does that cord actually?
I would say. Now here's the question: how many people do you think tried to pull it and like broke
snapped
something
it
off of it and just snapped it off just immediately? Because that'd be me.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
So this controller does look pretty wacky. But realistically, functions just fine like a normal controller. Weird placement on some things, but just a fancy collectible
like,
controller.
Appropriate buttons, right? Yeah, it's got like a D-pad. It's got 2 joysticks at the end of the day. It's got 4 buttons. It's got the pause menu. Like, there's literally nothing here that's like that wild outside of just like the shape of it. As weird as it looks.
Another technicality here, that is a controller but also isn't.
What does that mean? Oh, you talked about this.
So this is a Nintendo Wii controller for the game, I think it was Cooking Mama.
What the fuck?
That's how I feel, honestly. Like, what the fuck, dude?
So, the way it works is you shove a Wii remote up its ass.
As is custom for every Wii game. If the Wii remote doesn't go into somebody else's ass, it goes in yours.
If that isn't a euphemism for Nintendo, it's like What do you do with this? Shove it up your ass. All right.
I have also brought along with me today a very long video of a very, very fun YouTuber playing with one.
To hear than a baby's laughter. You know, it's just music on the ear, so we have this.
Okay,
Baby's
he was
getting
doing some
real
editing
upset.
there. Try to find some
When I
actual him
recorded that
using it.
one. Oopsie poopsie. Mom, if you're watching the stream, I hope you're proud of my career decisions.
I should have made timestamps clearly.
We probably
Okay, well I know he
Fine.
doesn't play
This is the
Cooking
same
Mama with
controller
it
you
here,
play
but he
tennis
uses
with.
it for
You
a
don't
different
play
game.
tennis with a baby. Don't
Why not?
Put down my tennis racket, my child. Make sure there are no object or people around you, but it doesn't say
It's
about
actually
using a
amazing.
person for the controller. You're on thin ice. Oh, we got it. You gotta really swing it for it to register. You
So
know,
the
rally.
Cooking Mama baby controller exists.
I wanna like you, kid. They're my flesh and
fuck?
blood, but I still have the receipt from CEX, and I know they sell other babies there.
I love artsy. So yeah,
Oh my
the
God,
the
dude.
Cooking Mama baby controller. What do you guys think?
I just don't even know. So for the game that
I don't
was
know what it
intended
does.
for,
I don't know.
yeah, what
is-
is it for the game that it was intended to be made for?
I
right?
watched him play and couldn't figure it
This
out.
is my son.
I watched like 9 of the 11 minutes of this video and really just did
No,
not
it's
understand
like when
how you couldn't just
Shake
play
the
it with a
baby.
Wii remote.
Then what? Okay. I feel
Okay,
like
here we
I'm
go.
fishing in Stardew Valley. Do you feel like you're having the fun experience of raising a child? Burp the baby with gentle pats on the back. Never shake the baby. Oh, this is great. Okay, yeah, because this is Cooking Mama. I actually made some preparations just in my office. And I actually have a
Is
chopping
this
board and
where he,
potato
like, puts
masher
it in a
here.
pot? Yeah.
Because I was hoping we
Yeah.
could do some cooking later. He's been burped. Baby, how you doing?
No.
He's been burped.
Shake the baby.
I feel like we're gonna get this screen. Baby, how you doing after that? I'm gonna puke. I'm gonna puke. I'm gonna.
Beautiful.
It's
Oh.
yeah, 100% could play that game without the baby.
Yeah, you don't need the baby at all. It's just
Classic Nintendo. Just
But also, why play that
upsell,
game?
upsell,
Based on
upsell.
what I saw.
oddly enough, that is not the first baby-related gaming peripheral I've seen. I guess technically the other one I'm thinking of isn't a peripheral. It's it was from the collector's edition of Fear 3.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, let me pull it up. It was interesting. Yeah.
Was it a-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was this a controller?
Not really. It's not
No.
controller related. It's not really
It's
related to the
just like
subject.
a-
It's
like
just
a-
We talked about this a
collectible thing.
while ago. It
yeah,
was
we
one of
talked
the
about this on
weirdest-
stream.
Dude,
Yeah,
it's so horrifying.
Yeah, it's very strange. The weirdest thing about it is apparently it lights up the inside of the action figure so that you can see the outline of the baby inside of it.
Glow in the dark.
Oh, it's glow in the dark. That's what it is. God, Fear was weird, dude.
I know because I owned it.
You owned one?
Yeah.
Why?
I was a big Fear fan.
Okay, fair enough. Fear 2 was awesome. I love Fear 2.
Fear 2 was great. Fear 3 was a letdown.
Yeah. Is it 6 feet tall? Why do you ask, Tom? Is there something you would like to use that action figure for?
As soon as you spun it around, he saw that ass. He was like, there are worse things to invest money in all of a sudden.
We're gonna move past the weird baby action figure. Chunk, what have you got next?
Okay, well, I would say we can bring it back with something a little bit more, like, I guess, I don't want to say iconic. We could talk about the Game Shark as like one of those add-ons for like the Game Boy Advance.
Real quick, chat. How many of you remember the Game Shark?
Yeah.
Filthy cheats.
It was good. It's a good thing, Poppy, I swear. But yeah, like the way I'll actually bring up like the picture of it though, real quick.
I've got one of them pulled up.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, legitimately, like, because the way that it worked was just that it plugged in the back of like a Game Boy Color, or Game Boy, like whatever you were using at the time. You plug the other game into it and it like unlocked a screen. Like as soon as it started up, they would have like a whole bunch of like cheats you could go through like in a menu and like select something to like add on to the game. It was insane. There was like an insane amount of value that was there. even if you're not like a cheater or whatever, like I was. But I was also awful at games back then, and so I needed some way to compensate. The Game Shark was just the way.
Here's my question. I remember using one of these for, I think, Pokemon once. To cheat in Pokemon, obviously.
Yeah.
But was this something that worked universally, or did it have to have like a list of supported games?
This is supported games.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it wasn't like anything like that was released after the fact. I don't think it worked on, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't really know much about it, but I know there was a list of games that it worked.
Yeah, I remember there being a list of games. I just don't remember if they like released more than one version for like different sets of games.
They did.
Did
yeah.
they? Okay.
Yeah.
So I remember the Game Shark. Tom brought up the Action Replay. I don't remember what's the difference between the Game Shark and the Action Replay. I've never done that one.
I remember the Action Replay was for like the DS, I think. I mean, I could be wrong in misremembering that, but that's they may have been at the same time, but that's what I used.
I was too poor to afford all this shit.
Yeah.
No idea.
Yeah, the Game Shark I used was one of my friends.
GameCube. Okay.
Oh, interesting. Okay, Action Replay was for GameCube. And then Cheat Engine is the PC version, yeah.
I just remember there was like some way to cheat in Pokemon and get like 999 rare candies. And you bet your sweet bottom dollar that I absolutely fucking activated that cheat every single time. I didn't grind a single day in my life playing Pokemon. I'm Jamie's worst nightmare.
You cheated yourself.
True.
No, dude, it was the
If
friends
you
I
use rare candies,
killed.
you
I
had the
absolutely
weakest
murdered.
Pokemon that were level 100.
True. Rare candies
they're
give
level
lower
100.
stats when you level up, so.
Meanwhile, while the other kids were sitting there with their level 70 Pokemon, I'm sitting there with my level 100.
Yeah,
fucking
well, you know
stomping
what?
their
The
ass.
time investment was going to make them better than you, Chunk.
Your level 100 is about to get ass blasted by level 70.
Game.
It's about the friends we killed along the way. I honestly am fine with it. I feel like I saved a lot. Look, and all those car rides beating everybody up in the back of a van, I had a great time. Like, I didn't have any qualms about it. My level 100 Dialga or whatever the fuck.
This was growing up in multiplayer. This is what multiplayer looked like when you were growing up.
The link cables.
Yeah. Yeah, this right here is exactly how you traded Pokemon and fought each other growing up. Oh, I didn't mean to click that. Just a little.
I legitimately remember there was like a problem like at the church that I went to where people were stealing them, and like people couldn't find their cables anymore. That's
Do you want
actually
to know
disgusting.
what one of my favorite like looking devices is?
What's that?
The Atari Stick Station.
Stick Station is a good name.
Oh.
It's just a plank of wood with a joystick in the middle.
Wait, why? What's the plank of wood for?
It's just
to make it look nice.
To keep you grounded, Debbie.
It does look nice.
It literally is just a joystick, right?
Dude.
And this was the Atari controller.
Do you know someone's planted their ass right on top of that thing? Is all I'm saying. It's just,
Oh my god!
Look at it!
Oh man, I didn't even think about that. Actually, holy shit! Look at that price.
Wait, $14.95? Honestly, not bad.
Even in like the 80s, that was good.
Dude, hey, you know what? You don't even need lumber to build a fence, guys. Just buy a bunch of these things and build a fence out of it.
Oh my god.
I mean, the joystick alone, the Atari joystick is pretty iconic in itself, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Like this here. This like defined joysticks for a long time.
But how nice does that board look?
It does look very
It's a
clean.
nice piece of varnished wood.
Because the Atari joystick kind of spawned its own like side creation of things. Remember? Did y'all always like see those like iconic? It would be like SpongeBob or like some other themed game, and it would just have like a set of like 5 or 6 games on it. It would just be a thematic like SpongeBob's nose. Hold on, let me find.
Yes, yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. I can find it. I've already got it pulled up actually.
Yeah. Stuff like this. That was like it was like a game station all in itself. You would literally just plug it in the TV. It had like a select few games that you would play on it. And there was like so many different ones. There was like, dude, yeah, it was like that. There was like a Shrek one. There was like there was a whole bunch of different ones.
It would have like 70 to 150 really shitty old Atari games just baked into it, and you just plug it in with your optical cables here and just play whatever random games you want to play.
And the best part was that some of them were so cheap that like half of the games were actually just the same game under a different name.
Yeah, like a different
that
color.
was the beauty of it. You never know what you were getting. Maybe you were trying to play like some racing game and you're like, oh yeah, Cold Blasters. Let me play that game. It's the same racing game, and it wouldn't make any sense. You're just like, yeah, that's about right.
Gosh, what a nightmare! I completely forgot about those.
Yeah, that thing's. Imagine having that thing in your room, just like staring at you in the dark.
I think I did.
It's honestly haunting, dude. Ugh.
So I have a controller that I thought of when you talked about someone definitely taking a seat on that Atari joystick.
Yeah.
I am not going to say what I thought of when I saw this. I'm just gonna leave it on screen and see what you guys think. Uh-oh. That website did not load the image. It's okay. I got it right here.
Dude, I legitimately thought that was like a travel pillow.
What the fuck? What?
Is that a seat warmer for like a toilet seat? Do you like slide that bad boy on? Wait, what is this for?
Yep.
Intel?
It's made by Intel. It was
like a steering wheel kind of thing?
I believe it was a controller designed to work on most consoles that was boasting that it was like the wireless controller that you could go buy in place of like a regular PlayStation 2 or like regular Xbox controller. I had a hard time finding information on this outside of this website, which is just a joy to look at. But oh no, it is PC. Okay, it was expandable to the PC, internet, and gaming experience. So I was wrong on consoles, but they were bragging about it being like one of the earlier wireless controllers, which I know is wrong, which is the reason that I'm like not sure about a lot of data on this. But I definitely looked at this and thought that's a double-ended dildo.
Would it be that close together towards the top though? That seems.
If you're really good friends.
Back to back. You just think back to back.
This is for best friends only. This is to see how tight you really are with your homie.
This is not a 3-player game.
So
will
no
you
joysticks.
Be my player too?
This was from like PS1, PS2 era. No joysticks. Just a directional pad and several buttons. Adby said if the ace knows, you know you have a problem.
Yeah, look, that is just uncomfortable to look at. I can't even imagine trying to use that thing.
Dude, I actually just thought it was a neck pillow, but fucking Debbie going double-sided dildos. I can't unsee it now, but...
I'm sorry?
Oh, it's fine. Ugh.
Wait, Brutal says, I remember those?
Brutal.
Really?
How
You
old
remember
are
this
you?
controller?
900,000 years old?
The less lewd thing that I think of when I look at this, if we want to move away from that, is it reminds me of those Gummy Shark candies that I have only ever seen in like the mall candy stores.
Yeah, like Candy Craze. Or
Yeah. Which makes me want to eat it.
Yeah, that's fair. And honestly, as a kid, I probably would have eaten that thing. I probably would have chewed on it until it was like absolutely broken into pieces.
Like a dog.
Yeah.
It actually does look like a dog's chew toy.
Yeah? Honestly, it does.
I still have several controllers left. I thought I was coming close to the end of my list.
Do you want to banger? This is one of the
Let's see
dumbest
it.
things I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Let me get this name right. The Speedboard.
The Speedboard.
Nintendo Speedboard.
I was like, is that for the Wii?
No, it's for the Nintendo Entertainment System.
Oh, should I look it up? I was waiting for a
The
picture.
NES Speedboard.
Speedboard.
What the fuck?
Is it just? Is
this just a scale?
Is this just a scam?
So you put your controller into it, and then you can play it with your
your toes,
index and middle finger, and it was meant to make you a better gamer.
I can see this being
What?
useful for something like a Dance of Fire and Ice if that existed on the Nintendo Entertainment System, but
that's what it was for. It was like you plug it in and then you play like this with your with your fingers like this.
yeah, so it supports, it's like Cyber said, it's arcade gaming. It's like an arcade cabinet board for people who are used to yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
They sold a hunk of plastic. You can literally just put this down on your table.
Well, the table would have a hard time holding it. You have to have something to hold it, Jamie.
Okay, well then I go and get 2 books off the bookshelf and put it on each side of it, and then I press the buttons again. You literally
I know.
duct tape something like.
True. We have to think like Tom. We have to think like Tom. Sure, they sold a big block of plastic at this point, but they did later upgrade to cardboard.
Oh, thank goodness. More recyclable.
Better for the environment, yeah.
So my question is, this big raised elevated bit with the logo on it, right? The logo, first of all, looks like it would be uncomfortable and annoying if it's raised. Yeah. Secondly, is this meant to be hard plastic or is it a cushion for your wrist?
I thought it was a cushion.
Yeah,
so
plastic.
I'm losing my mind, dude. What is the point? What is the point of this thing?
Yeah.
They just went and bought a lid from like a bucket at Walmart and just gave it to you, and they're like, "Hey,
it's like
congrats, you're a better gamer now."
And slap the Nintendo logo on it, and the value doubled. What in the world?
Actually insane to me.
I'm trying to think about how I would validate purchasing something like this.
Oh, you couldn't.
I mean, I'm sure I could convince myself this is a worthwhile purchase.
Is there a record for sales on this? Can we look that up? I want to know how many people I need to shame.
Let's see. Nintendo Speedboard sales.
You got them in many. Gaming was niche back then.
Yeah, I was saying because gaming's niche, but it's like you would think that I get that we're in a world where it's we're used to it, so it seems even more silly to us. But it's surely people couldn't have thought that was a good idea even back then, right?
It's $60 to buy one now.
There's no.
I think I'll pass.
Yeah,
Are you sure? I might buy one to throw my my hitbox on while I play fighting games. What is this?
Is that a toaster?
Is this a toaster GameCube?
DVD player? Wait, no. Wait, that looks sick. Actually, what? It's a DVD player.
Okay, that is interesting. Yeah, it's got a DVD player. Wow, what am I looking? Okay, I didn't even mean to find this.
But we found something incredible this day.
We found the Panasonic brand DVD supporting GameCube toaster.
I want this. I actually would consider buying this.
It looks cool. It looks really nice for a GameCube. It's kind of old, but the chrome, the future's chrome. Was this homemade? I don't think so. Because this website is 15 old Nintendo accessories that are worth a fortune now, so I imagine it's just rare? Oh, that wasn't a part of the list. Alright, well, hey. I kind of want to wait for Jamie to get back, but we'll keep going. A Mario DDR map for the GameCube. That shit was worthless the day it came out. These I mentioned before we started the stream that rhythm gaming deserves its own section for weird controllers. Because the DDR mats were utter garbage. I had 3 of them and none of them were good. Here's the Speedboard at number 29 out of 30. This is why I opened it up. One sold for as high as $85 on eBay, complete and in a box, and another sold for $50 without a box, all for a piece of plastic. Yep.
Hey Debbie, I sent you a link to the Panasonic GameCube if you want to take a gander at how much that is.
Sheesh!
There was a wide margin based on what I'm seeing.
Oh my lord!
Some is a few $100, someone's $1,000. There was one that was $8,500 because it's still in the box.
So do you think this has Panasonic on it? Huge. I feel did Panasonic strike a deal with Nintendo to put their own hardware on a GameCube and sell it?
I don't know.
Must have.
They must have, yeah, because the GameCube logo is tiny, and Nintendo, that's not like Nintendo.
Angry that I want this thing so fucking bad.
It does look really cool.
This is probably their way of competing with the PS2.
Wow, the back definitely looks like
because
handmade.
That was like how they sold the PS2 largely, right? Was because it was like, oh, it doubles as a DVD player. And so everyone was like, oh, we can just buy a PS2 and not buy a DVD player, and it was like actually cheaper.
Yep, that's how PS3 tried to do with Blu-ray too.
Yeah, but like that was a whole thing with the Blu-ray players.
They were too early.
Yeah, they were too early. That's also one of the reasons their console was so expensive, is they tried for that. So unintentionally, Jamie, when you were up, I stumbled on this website.
They also went the cheapest option and it sucked.
Yeah.
I mentioned while you were up again that rhythm games deserve their own section. That seems to be a lot of this website that I pulled up.
Yep.
I never got to play on these, but I really want to play Taiko, the Taiko drum game, where you have the little red and blue, the outside is red, the inside is blue, and you have to play a rhythm game like that.
So my friend Thorman Gander,
I love Thor.
beat Elden Ring with these.
Really?
Yep.
Bruh, I've seen him playing Metal Gear Solid on the steering wheel.
Yeah, no, he does all kinds of, like, that's his shtick, is he loves playing fun games with weird controls.
Yeah, I remember seeing him play Sonic Adventure 2 Battle with the steering wheel as well.
The NES Power Pad.
Is this like DDR, I assume?
The first thing that stood out to me is that it says side B. I want to know what side A looks like.
Side A is, but it looks more like a twist mat.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, there's like red and yellow buttons and
okay.
Like
have you seen one of these?
DDR. Yeah, I've seen one in real life.
Okay. Hey, we talked about the laser scope. We talked about the power glove. We talked. Yep. I didn't want to put the super scope on there because I figured everybody knows what this is. It's just a fancy. Yeah.
It's just fancy zapper.
Hey, okay. We talked about this.
Okay, look, we're on our stuff. I did remember this, the Famicom.
They
this was like
just sold a keyboard.
Well, yeah, that was like one of the first like game stations. I talked about this whenever we talked about like the history of gaming or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
This was one of the things. It was insane.
In Famicom.
Yeah. And it was
Look at the arrow keys. They're massive, girthy arrow keys. They're like shift keys. Actually, I think they are just shift keys painted different. Even the function keys. The function keys only go up to F8. What?
That's Rob.
For the
Rob was a controller.
Oh.
Yeah, did you not know that? Did you
No.
not, like the character Rob was like an add-on thing. That was
I didn't know what Rob was from.
Okay.
Yeah,
Rob
I
was
know
like
Rob
an
from
old,
Smash.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what he was from. He was from the NES thing.
Oh, okay.
I still to this day don't know what exactly he did specifically, but I just know he was a thing.
He shoots lasers and throws tops out and stuff like that. I've seen in chat multiple times people asking us to look up the Wii Fit balance board.
Yeah.
It's weird.
There you go.
But I feel like this one was very popular. Like everyone's seen this one. Everyone's knows that this one exists. It is bizarre. I question how many of these cracked underweight.
Yeah.
A lot.
Legitimately, I think that like this was a good move on Nintendo though, because it was like the whole sales point of the Wii was that it's gaming but active, so you don't have to worry about your lazy ass kids gaining weight.
Very true.
And so they were like, they basically made this into a
it.
scale as well, and so it like could measure in like your body weight and stuff.
It was smart. It was smart.
I'm also a big fan of the Wii Fit trainer in Smash. So
true.
Yeah, all those ideas are really clever.
I agree. It's just
Oh
still
my God.
shit though.
I've got one that's amazing. I just remembered this, and the Wii board made me. Didn't they make a functioning skateboard for one of the Tony Hawk's games?
They did. Yep. But it was like it was really hard. You had to start. It had like sensors in a certain part of the board that
was
like
a Project 8.
It was. Yeah.
it was,
it was like,
I knew it from Tony Hawk Shred. Which I did look up more information on this because I was super curious about how Tony Hawk felt about this. Because, you know, when you have your name plastered on something, obviously you're going to have your opinion out there about it.
Yeah.
Tony Hawk's statement on this was that basically he loved it. He thought it was close to exactly what he wanted. He thinks it was rushed a little bit. And all of the reviewers, which most of them gave it really bad reviews, he says that they just didn't actually take time to figure out how to learn it. They just got on it, played for a few minutes, and wrote a review. So I think he got upset about it.
You know what? That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, that to be fair, that is also how a lot of reviewers tend to be in general.
Yeah, it's why it's one thing I hate about reviewers. It's why I don't listen to them.
Yep.
The amount of times I've seen a review that is completely wrong based on the game. I saw a review for a game. There's a game called The Messenger, and at the end of the game, that game changes its style completely. And you can tell that the reviewer did not finish the game because he never even mentioned the switch in style at the end. I'm like, dude, this is the problem with reviewers.
Well, it's like also you had the infamous Cuphead like reviewer incident. Do you remember that?
Jeez, yeah.
Where they couldn't get, they legitimately couldn't get past the tutorial level. Said the game was too hard and impossible, and they like gave it like.
There's a thing. There's a reason for that. You know what that was?
What was that?
That wasn't actually a game reviewer. Everyone laughs at that guy. So he didn't play games. He didn't know how to play games. He was meant to be the cameraman. But the guy that was meant to be doing the reviews that day was sick, and rather than just like phone it in and not do any reviews, the cameraman decided to do the reviews for the game, or at least take video the footage.
Yeah.
And he didn't know how to play games. He didn't play games. He was a cameraman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess Cuphead would be a rough first game to start on.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the fact that he didn't know how to just double jump was pretty bad. It was it was the tutorial level.
I wanted to do reviews for a while in the format that I wanted to do because I think it's the fairest and most accurate way to review games is a 1 hour, 2 hour, and then like when you feel like you're halfway through the game and then a final game. All of those different reviews together. Because I feel like your opinion changes a lot over a game when you play a lot.
Yeah. My thing for doing the reviews I'm going to be doing is I have to finish the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
I mean, you have to finish it either way, but I like the idea of how do I feel an hour in.
That's how I feel about like any game that I talk about or like have strong opinions on. If I haven't beaten the game, then I typically won't give like a strong opinion on it because I'm like I don't know honestly. It could be a great game, but if I haven't finished it,
I mean, there are some games that you play and they're just so trash that you don't want to finish it and you feel like you got everything out of it.
See, I'm a weird person. Like, I'm this way with like movies and stuff too. It's just that like even if it's like absolute hot garbage, I'll still play it through to the end for the most part because I for some reason it justifies in my mind. It's like if I've already spent this much time playing it, I'm going to finish it. Yeah, dude, that was I forgot about the broadband adapter for the GameCube because it was like only had like 2 games that were online.
I actually have this one. I'm gonna pull this one up now.
What the fuck is this one? The U-Force? This one just looks like Battleship? What am I looking at here?
So yeah, this is called the Nintendo or actually it's not Nintendo, sorry. Broderbund U-Force. I thought Battleship too. Basically, this is a better image. Basically, the whole point of it is that these plates, these screens are IR sensors. And your hands hover in the air between the screens or above them and block the sensors, and that's how they detect movement. So the entire function of the game is moving your hands around to interact with the game, as you can see by this very good depiction in the bottom left corner.
Yeah.
However,
he's so fast. He's like
this is the one that I actually took down a quote from the wiki page on, so I'm just going to read this verbatim from the wiki page. The U-Force was ranked the 8th worst video game controller by IGN editor Craig Harris. MSN listed it as one of the top 10 worst game peripherals, writing second only to the Sega Activator in terms of all-out crappiness. The U-Force also used infrared sensors to create a truly nightmarish controller. Don't touch, said the adverts for the device in a rare example of an advertising campaign that got it spot on.
That's very good. Actually.
I read that, was like, that is 40-year-old salt that I can feel.
Yeah, that is savage, dude. Jesus. Yeah, they were obsessed with infrared back in the day, and it's like the whole like you don't have to touch anything. It's like, why is that a positive?
Back in the day, they never stopped. Nintendo's, well, I guess this wasn't Nintendo, but Nintendo's been all in on infrared. Like the Wii was the first one to really utilize it. I feel like
even like their wireless controllers were still technically infrared, right? Like that's how like everything works for like so long. Even like yeah, true.
True.
Like,
yeah, I mean the Switch is great now.
True. Yeah, the Switch, the Wii also did infrared pretty well with like the sensor bar for the most part.
Yeah, sensor bar was good. I think it was I'm very happy the Switch doesn't have one. I'll say that.
Yeah,
the fact that they evolved beyond the need for a sensor is a massive leap forward and an underrated leap forward. But as much as I shit on Nintendo, the Switch is a very, very good step forward for this type of technology for sure.
Even the Wii was like, even the Wii, it was amazing. Like the step forward was huge.
The Wii was a phenomenon. I mean, everybody, if you were alive when the Wii came out, you remember that year. I feel like.
Pretty much. It was an explosion.
I had
it was like gaming done differently.
I had my cousin stay. He was like 10 years older than me. My cousin stayed out in line overnight for like 18 hours at a Walmart to get me a Wii or a Wii on Christmas. So
what a dude.
My mom paid him for it, but man, I loved that Wii. I loved that Wii.
I remember convincing my parents. I was like, yeah, no, the Wii is for like fitness and stuff, and like we'll all like get a workout while doing it. And then we all just like got Netflix on it, and we sat down and watched Netflix on it. It's just like, hey, let's go.
That's how I feel every time a game comes out for Switch, Wii, VR, anything. It's like, yeah, it's active. You can stand up and move around. And I'm like, how do I play from a chair? I will figure it out. All right, so for most of the first products we talked about, I brought up modernization. I'm curious. This reminds me, for some reason, I guess it's the lasers and IR and whatnot, but there's these keyboards that you can buy that's just a little stick that you put in front of your monitor, and it projects a laser of a keyboard layout on your desk, and you type in on nothing on your desk. Let me see if I can find one.
They're also really bad.
Yeah, they're really inaccurate. They're not great.
That feels like
cool
it would
concept.
be like unsatisfactory to like just do stuff with it, right? In the first place.
Yeah, it's these.
Also, Debbie, you're muted.
Thank you.
Massive delays in input as well.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
I think it's a cool concept.
Really not good.
Aesthetically, it looks kind of cool, but also like you can't see towards the top of the keyboard because like
your hands get in the way.
Yeah. Like,
I mean, like, I feel like this thing would get better and better the darker your room is. Like, the more of an absolute gremlin you are, the better this keyboard works for you.
You can use it in light.
I think the other thing, too, is I don't know if this was probably a marketing thing that they threw out there, but, like, just as far as how compact it is and how nice it would be for travel, if they can get these accurate, like, this would be pretty nice.
Yeah, it would be nice.
Yeah.
But, like, oh man, it just seems so like unnecessary, and like I feel like a lot of like the satisfaction for like a keyboard is like the feel of like the clicks and stuff. I feel like just slapping the top of your desk doesn't really do the same.
I wouldn't feel right typing normally. I feel like I would have my hands up like this and like
yeah, I would go back to those days before I ever learned how to type and just be
poking down at each key. Yeah. So the reason I bring that up is just like with the concept of this combined with more modernized IR technology, do you think something like this could actually be like something people would care about if they modernized it and made a new version?
Do I think basically that people would care? I don't think people would care.
No, I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that revolutionary.
I don't either.
Yeah, I think even if it was like a really like good like use of IR or whatever, and like became like a big thing, I think you'd have a trouble like selling it to people nowadays.
Yeah,
and it,
you're
like,
right.
Because it feels like everybody's turned into a different direction to go like towards the VR route and stuff. So it's like, why would anyone like kind of go down this road? You know, it just feels like so niche.
Especially like when like the whole idea of it is like it's portable, right? Then you have those roll-up keyboards.
True.
Yeah.
I forgot about those.
Roll up. Those they're just better.
Also, Opal brings up a good point. It's just a multi-angle Connect, not just a modern version of this. I feel like even like almost everything Nintendo puts out these days is a modern version of this. We've got like the Switch is just the same technology. It's infrared, but it's it's different. It's still hands-on, so it's not quite the whole don't touch experience that they were promoting with this.
Yep, agreed.
Interesting concept for the 80s though.
Yeah, but you know, the 80s was the wild fucking west of like all this stuff. You can basically throw anything together and be like, oh yeah, I'm innovative.
Yeah, pretty much.
Also, while we're on the topic of brand new state-of-the-art keyboard technology.
Oh yeah, I was wondering when this was gonna get brought up.
It's so hard to get a good picture of these, dude.
I love fucking anything GameCube.
You love fucking
Dude, I love fucking anything, but also GameCube specifically.
That is ridiculous. That is
just
dumb as shit.
Dude, I love this. I don't know why I shouldn't, because it's awful. Like looking
It's
at it.
so
but
bad.
Oh, I can't find a good picture. Like a big picture. These are also tiny. You know what? Here, let's do size
Big.
large. It brings up the same one. Whatever.
That's as large as you're gonna get.
Yeah, I think so. There we go. There's a better version of it. So yeah, this exists. I don't really understand the purpose. So I get. I said I get. I'm gonna take that back immediately. What GameCube game? Maybe it works on PC. Cool,
Typing in
but
the Dead.
Typing in the Dead.
Sure.
Okay, yeah,
Typing in the
yeah.
Dead would be
You're
the
a
one.
god tier at Typing in the Dead. How do you play that without this?
Yeah, pretty much. Like, that's the only game I could really think of that's like worth this purchase, and the worth is a stretch.
Oh my god, I love it. I just would play normal like Mario Party on this controller just for no reason.
WASD instead of the joystick.
Yeah, dude, imagine walking up to a Smash tournament like for Melee and like unwinding this bad boy and be like, all right, plug me in.
Hook me up, chief.
Hook me up, chief.
So
Just
I'm
look at
trying to
some-
think.
Are you down for some friendlies?
It looks very small based on the size of this hand, or this guy has a massive fucking hand. It looks like a tiny keyboard relative to like a modern average keyboard.
I mean, it just looks like honestly, the keyboard looks like a normal size just without like the numpad.
Are you sure?
Like, it doesn't look like that small to me.
Yeah, no.
Because,
it's- yeah, I agree.
Maybe.
Also,
I mean, his
I think he
hand
has big
against that
hands.
keyboard looks a lot different versus my hand on this keyboard.
yeah.
Yeah, but you've got
I am trying to stretch my fingers out as wide as I can, and I can reach both alt keys.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I just realized it is missing the arrow keys and stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, so there's a whole section missing, obviously, but I think even without that stuff included, I think these are just kind of small. Devious small hams. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. So the other question I had about this was like, when you're typing on it, do you just set it in your lap? I
just set it on the table or whatever you have in front of you.
feel like the controller handles are gonna make it awkward to balance on a table.
I don't think it'd be that bad. I don't have my GameCube up here. Otherwise, I would test how the controller sits. I think it'd be fine.
Not flat like a keyboard.
Well, yeah, it doesn't be flat. That's fine. Just gotta be careful not to press too hard or you break it down the middle. But that's besides that. it's
Snap
fine.
in the half, yeah.
Yeah.
Outside of obviously stitching a keyboard onto it, it is just a normal controller. I don't know what kind of gamer gunk this dude's got on the left thumbstick, but that's not a part of the controller.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah,
You pointed it out, dude.
big
That's like,
gross.
that dude's got layers of Cheeto dust, like built, like ingrained, like the crevices of that thing.
That
That's
is the
filthy.
yellowing of the rest of the plastic, all joined into one thumbstick.
It's actually filthy, dude. What the fuck?
Let's see.
I still would buy one though.
Would you?
So you better believe when I get my Panasonic fucking GameCube, I'm
Your
gonna
toaster?
order this bad. Yeah, I'm gonna order this thing with it. Look, guys, I found a brand new Panasonic GameCube for $8,500. All right, so whenever I blast
Yeah,
off,
you
get rich.
might as well get all the peripherals.
May as well. Why not, right?
Yeah, might as well splurge a bit, you know.
More Nintendo here. Nintendo really is the innovator, is what I've decided from today, given how many wild controllers we've seen. This controller makes use of a lot of your hands. Way too many buttons for two hands to be pushing, right? Obviously, it's a keyboard, you don't need all the buttons at the same time, but this is a handy controller. Let's go to the opposite end of the
More
body
so
here.
than the thing we saw the other earlier that was like the back and front had like a million buttons. It was supposed to be a keyboard.
It's got, yeah, it has more buttons than that actually.
What the fuck?
Well, no, that one did. The thing we were just looking at, the GameCube one.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I got it to load. There we go. We have the Nintendo Roll and Rocker. Any guesses? I'll wait. Seen some wear and tear. You can see all the scratches over the logo. Chat, you're allowed to guess too. What do you think this is used for?
It's definitely been loved.
It's not a coaster for your dreams. The beta version of Wii Fit might actually be pretty close.
I would, dude. I don't know. Do you fucking bowl with? Yeah, fucking. I got nothing. I honestly
got
have
it.
no fucking.
It is a directional balance board. So it's kind of hard to tell right now because I believe the bottom is down and it's leaning towards us, but this thing slightly elevated off the ground in the very middle, and you stand on it and lean, and that is your directional inputs for whatever game you play.
What the fuck?
The weirdest thing is that you still need a controller to play any game with this. This is just the directionals for any game that you're trying to play on it.
Okay.
So you will be awkwardly leaning around on a reportedly laggy and unresponsive board, and then just tapping A-B.
Well, dude, you know, sometimes your left thumb gets so sore from moving that joystick. You're like, I need a break, and you get up, you get on your balance board, you fucking lean with it, and as you're pressing your buttons, so you can get that thumb a break, you know.
What a long day at work. I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
Better get up.
Yeah, it's fucking good.
I would say I don't see this having a future if the Wii balance board wasn't a thing.
Yeah, right. That's how I feel too.
I will say I like the direction they chose to go in. Instead of having these balance boards and balance pads that now games like Ring Fit, that's kind of weird using the ring. I thought about bringing that in. Have you guys seen that?
I've seen someone do a Dark Souls run on that.
Yeah, I have too. I've played on it. It's a good workout.
People
You
do
wouldn't let
Dark Souls run on anything.
unless you were jogging.
Oh, my camera's frozen.
Oh shoot. Yeah, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Also, Wolf, thank you for the follow. Welcome in.
Or am I? Maybe I'm not.
Maybe you're dead. Your camera's dead. I saw the Logitech logo flicker, if that helps. Maybe something to do with that software. But anyway, yeah, this was a balance board to utilize your directional pad. Just another example of Nintendo selling a giant hunk of plastic. Yeah, Chunk was permanently stuck in SMH my head mode. Oh, I'm Jamie now.
Oh my god, let's go. I've got a crown. That's all I have to do.
I don't really have a lot more to say on this one. I mean, it's pretty straightforward, pretty simple concept.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm
It's old Wii Fit board, so therefore.
Microphone. Oh god, microphone.
Yeah, I see that.
Okay.
Every time I open the Logitech or the Logic Capture thing, it always does that.
I see. Oh!
I'm not sure why.
I have a third controller to add to the list of controllers from tonight that I want to use. So the third controller I actually want to use is the Dual SFX Evolution. So the simplified description I wrote out for this was imagine Joy-Cons but made by Sony.
That actually looks pretty sick.
Oh yeah, I don't mind that.
But
See if I can find a bigger picture of it. I wish it would just stay on sorting by large. That'd be really great, Google. Thank you. I mean, it's a fairly straightforward concept. I think this looks nice.
No, I like the look of it. I just don't know how I don't know, the buttons feel weird to me, but I could be wrong. They seem tiny.
True. The face buttons on the outside of the right side is very interesting.
Yeah.
The directional pad still looks correct is the best way. There we go. That's a big picture.
Yeah, right?
The directional pad still looks fine. In fact, everything on the left side, solid.
I agree.
The right side, though, feels like they made the left side first. And then they were like, oh, we got a lot more buttons to put on these. But yeah, I would absolutely try these.
I actually would too. It doesn't look that bad. I just think that the whole thing for like the Switch Joy-Cons is like they're meant to be individual controllers as well, like when you turn them sideways. So it's like this design is obviously not meant for like this to be like, you know.
This is
the
definitely
left one
two
is a
hands.
This is basically like something one person is using, right?
This is obviously not plugging into a bigger controller. You're not going to attach these in any way. You're going to lose the left hand one and have to buy another set.
Oh my god.
I think that these could go over well. I see these selling pretty well, honestly. They're not like amazing. I don't think they're gonna like break records selling these. No. If Sony were to make one of these for like the PS4, PS5 nowadays, I think people would buy one.
I think it's just aesthetically cool, right? Like even if you wouldn't like really use it, I think it's like a nice looking little thing to add on to if you're a collector or something like that.
I do like the carbon fiber finish as well. Makes it look a lot higher quality than the old Nintendo yellow smoky plastic.
I agree. I hate carbon fiber because I deal with it a lot, but I do like the way it looks on that. Nice sheen to it.
Nice sheen to it. Looks high quality. Looks good. Looks well made.
Yeah.
I have 4 controllers left.
Okay. Did you already talk about the the Dragon Quest slime one? Is that one of the ones you have?
I actually didn't put it on here because it's just a normal controller shaped like a slime.
Yeah, it's just like I guess that's fair because it is like the.
I'll pull it up though.
Yeah, it's just for like people to like kind of look at it, right?
Absolutely. I think everyone else needs to see it. I just assumed that one of you three would pull it up too, so I didn't put it on my list.
Yeah.
But yeah, chat. So the last controller looked pretty nice.
Yeah.
This is definitely the exact opposite of what we just looked at. We looked at a controller that's normally one piece that has been split into 2 to replicate the Switch. Now we are looking at a Switch controller, which is normally 2 pieces crammed into one unseparable piece.
Yeah. This looks like they saw what the original Xbox did and they're like, but what if you just rounded the whole thing out and made it thicker somehow? Like let's just make it
fun
bigger.
to hold.
I feel like this it has to be small, right? Like I can't imagine most of the people I see playing a Switch are going to be like college age or kids. I feel like Switch is very, very heavily marketed to kids. And I have a really hard time seeing kids with like little hands like reaching all over this thing.
Yeah, right.
Everything's spread out.
Yeah, it's not for kids. It's definitely not for kids.
Yeah. Also, what kids are playing Dragon Quest? Let's be honest.
I mean, look at the face on that slime. That's not safe for kids. Also, yes, to answer the question from chat, it is the bottom of the slime. You can actually see its mouth here in the bottom right corner. So you have this slime that's like a decoration piece, and then you flip it over and it's a controller.
All his blood's gonna rush to his head. He's gonna stop passing out.
To answer another question from chat, no, I don't think I could fit it in my mouth.
Debbie's a quitter. I can do it.
I realistically don't have a lot to say on this one either. I didn't plan on putting this one in here, but it's worth a look.
I just wanted to mention it because it is such... Okay, so the question is, does it have like the teardrop thing on the underside as well? Because if so, you can't even, set that down anywhere, like, right? Like,
well, you set it down, controller down.
but wouldn't that fuck up the Joy-Cons as well?
Probably.
Like the joysticks? Like eventually it's gonna cause. That seems like such awful design.
Yeah, but isn't that kind of in the intention? You buy this, it breaks, and you buy another one.
True. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I'll just buy another one.
Since we're on the topic of a controller I didn't intend on putting on the list, but deserves honorable mentions. We're talking about the Xbox One controllers for Sonic.
Let's go, baby. Dude, those things just... oh my god.
So, who do you think is the target audience for this controller design? Yes, Chunk?
Yeah, Chunk.
Oh, you are it. Okay, I thought you were trying to...
Yeah,
I say.
I'm the target audience. I have blue hair. Dude, honestly, this looks like every like 8th grade girl's purse. That's what it looks like. Like back in junior high, every girl I knew had a purse that was made out of this stuff. It's actually insane.
It does. Now that I've seen this up close, most of the images I've seen, I think this is the most zoomed in one I've seen. Most of the images are like far off up against an Xbox One. I feel like this one gives me a much better idea of the texture of this fur. It's like really low quality bad fur is what it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't look good. I assume most of it like falls apart after a few uses and like it starts shedding like a dog. And like it's just not gonna, it's gonna be all matted and gross with like grease and Dorito dust anyway. Like why would you want a controller that is intentionally harder to, you know what, let's just fucking make controllers out of carpet at this point. Like goddamn.
So
or like denim.
For a long time, there was Mad Catz, the shitty controller company that everyone loves, that was making controllers that had a bunch of holes in the handles and putting fans in it so that they would cool your hands down so you wouldn't get your gamer gunk and sweat all over the controllers.
The gamer gunk.
This is the opposite of that. How hot are your hands going to be holding onto weird, slippery, moving fur the entire time you're playing? And how sweaty and nasty are your hands gonna get? And by the time you've played one game on these controllers, you're not gonna want to hold it again. It's gonna be nasty.
No.
I'm not gonna be able to. It's gonna be slipping out of my hands every like 2 seconds. Gonna go.
You're gonna have to shampoo that damn thing.
Oh man, I gotta take a shower. Let me bring my Xbox controller.
Yes. Can you imagine your significant other just walking in on you? It's like, are you bathing the controller again?
I can explain. I can explain.
I can explain. It's not what it looks like. Get out of here.
Realistically, dry shampoo.
I would never do this to the Sonic one.
Dry shampoo is what you'd buy for these. You would most likely really have to buy dry shampoo for these controllers if you intended on using them as your like main controller.
Yeah, definitely. You gotta have some way to
disgusting.
clean it, right?
Yeah. I didn't want to put these on the list just because they are, in essence, just ordinary controllers, but
yeah,
a little too cursed to ignore, I feel like. Gumhaven says, I feel like if this controller could speak, it would sound like a minion.
Which is probably pretty accurate.
You know, yeah, actually, I'm done on these controllers. They're just, I've looked at them for 3 days straight. I keep getting linked to them over and over again. I love them and hate them at the same time. They're truly cursed.
They are cursed, and yet as a Sonic fan, I also debate buying it too. Okay, we're gonna talk about the thing.
I didn't. I just accidentally saw this on Google Images. I felt it was necessary to pull up. Also, I feel it's necessary to say now that we're 3 hours in, to anyone, if Aravan figured out how to get these on Spotify finally, I am terribly sorry about this episode. You're gonna have to come watch the VOD. There's so many images and videos. This one's not one that you can really listen to.
Yeah, it's true. We do have like too many reference images for this one.
That's something we'll have to keep in mind, but this one's fun.
Is there like a bio in like Spotify podcast where you can link a whole bunch of just every single link of the
all of the images?
All the images?
Click these while you're driving, please.
This one. Yeah, please. If you don't mind.
Let's see. I've got 3 more. I'm gonna save the wildest one for last. I think this one is going to immediately make sense as like how it functions, what it's designed for, blah blah blah. This is called the Radica Gamester PS2.
Oh, my uncle had one of these.
Really?
He's a wild.
Is it everything?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a wheel.
It's a wheel.
Yeah.
Have you seen this, Jamie?
No.
Do you think you know how this works?
No, I actually don't.
So this metal bit is the part that's attached, and this is hollow. So to steer right, you slide it up along the metal, and this black plastic would come to meet the black plastic at the top.
That's right. It's been so long since I've seen that thing. I forgot that did that.
Yeah. It's another thing. It says PS2 on it, but is this what the PS2 plugins? Yeah, this is what the PS2 controller plugs look like.
From this angle, it's kind of weird to tell. But
yeah.
I think it is.
No joysticks. PS2 did have dual analog. This has neither analog stick, just a turn.
That's fine. You'll make it work for other games, right?
This one definitely isn't standout compared to what we've been looking at all night.
No.
I'll admit, it's not incredible.
No, it's very boring design. Other than the fact that you can jerk the wheel off is it's basically it.
Speaking of jerking off,
Yeah.
I had to have a video for this one. This is not the controllers. This is just the intro.
Okay.
This is the controller here.
Is it just a knife? It's just a sword.
So this one is bizarre, but kind of interesting. You have your L2 and R2 on the back. You hold it with both hands. I don't know how you're supposed to use both joysticks.
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask. Is how do you hit the triggers and the joysticks at the
So this
feels
comment,
sticky, just like slime controller.
this comment that was on screen, feels sticky, is where things went downhill very fast when I was researching for this.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna give it a second to play out here, but actually,
It's kind of beautiful. I kind of love it.
it is interesting. So here's the
I
thing
still
that
know
I
how to
couldn't help
use it.
but laugh at. So as much as I hate making things sexual, this
Yeah.
end just looks like a dildo. The front end of the sword above the, like where the blade's meant to be, it just looks like a dildo. But
You
good
guys have
news,
very strange ideas of what dildos look like.
if you were trying to hide your weird katana dildo, oh no, CB's rating while I'm talking about katana dildos.
Katana dildos, let's go, baby!
Welcome into the katana dildo discussion chat. So we have our katana dildo here, and if you're trying to hide the katana dildo, you have a sheath for it. A pointless plastic sheath that goes over the end and does nothing.
But the entire okay, but now it has the sheath is the sword?
Yeah, but there's also a sheath. I don't get the point at all in having this be
Absolutely fucking
removable.
not. I'm
Why
not-
is it?
no-
Why can
no
you even
part of
take?
this.
There
I'm
goes
outta
Chunk.
here.
There goes Chunk. I don't understand the purpose of this being removable. Also, thank you very much for the raid, CB. I hope your stream was incredible. Chat, I don't like to
that's
stop
cool.
the podcast to shout people out most of the time, but CB is a very close friend and is doing a big charity event right now. You should absolutely go check
Hell
CB
yeah,
out.
dude. Hell yeah.
So yeah, this is I think, as far as the controllers we've looked at today, it has the right buttons. It is the most unique layout that I have seen. Being in a vertical line, having all of the buttons laid out like this is extremely weird. I don't know if this, I can't imagine what this would be used for. I don't know if this has any sort of like IR technology or anything like that. It just looks like a controller with weird laid out buttons. Maybe I can, let me,
I was about to say, does it say
Maybe
like
for a specific game.
Yeah, right? It's gotta be.
$1,250 for one, chat. You trying to drop
Jesus
a grand
Christ.
for a sword controller, chat? Sheesh.
Dude, look, I'm already got the Panasonic GameCube. I can't afford this lavish lifestyle you're trying to lead me down.
Yeah, you gotta buy the GameCube toaster first. Let's see here. I'm hoping to find some more details on it. Actually, I wonder if I could just find a video of someone using it. I do know the brand that made it, Hori. I almost bought a controller from them for Guilty Gear Strive when I went and purchased my
Interesting.
Hitbox. Yeah, they make really, really good fighting game controllers. Is this someone playing Ghost of Tsushima with oh my god, it is. I love the vibes already.
No, don't tell me that's how you hold the thing, is it?
Okay, so maybe it does have
Is it
some sort of a sensor in it?
It must do. It must do. You know, they're just imitating it.
He's either imitating it or
It's gonna be.
maybe it's just got like just enough of like what's the word? There's like a ball rolling around with sensors in there somewhere.
Maybe.
And it just detects movement and knows to swing.
I would say it is very delayed based on what we're seeing.
Can I
like,
say I love this
whether or
man's
not-
vibe? I don't know what channel this is, but
It doesn't even matter, dude. Dude, this man made this video for him and him alone, and that's all that matters.
gyroscope. Thank you, Edby. It's a good thing Fox isn't here anymore. He'd be upset we're watching a Ghost of Tsushima video, but I've got to see. I want to see some gameplay. It looks like it's not very reliable. I saw him swing twice and only swing once in game, so it looks bad. It looks like a $1,200 piece of junk.
But it looks cool, Debbie.
I mean, it does look cool.
And it has the most niche uses.
The most niche uses you can imagine. Like, if this released on the Wii, if this were a Wii remote, I get it, sure. But this being for the PlayStation? What?
True, actually. Wait, didn't they have... Hold on. Didn't they have something like that? They had, like, a sword you could put the Wii remote in?
I mean, more or less, you just kind of used the Wii remote. Like, it was meant to be very similar anyway. Accelerometer is more realistically what I meant, Adby. Thank you.
I just felt like there was an accessory you could put it in for some reason.
And then I have saved my most unique controller for last. So, I am going to pull up an image of this first, which I did this in a very inconvenient way to show these images. So 1 second.
Okay. Meanwhile, chat, exclamation point HelloFresh. You know, because
Chunk out here shilling for me.
Hey.
Here we go.
So someone's got to shill. I'll do it for both of us.
So this was the most bizarre controller I was able to find. The most unique, strangest controller.
What the fuck?
Yeah. How do you think this one?
How much is it actually worth, though?
How much is it? How much is it worth?
Well, how much does it work? Like actually function like it's properly supposed to?
I do have a video.
Okay.
Because you need one to understand what this thing is.
Yeah.
But I want to hear
it's got
guesses
3
first.
lines.
I want to hear guesses first.
I'm going to assume that it reads your blood pressure, and it takes that every so often, and then over time it just I don't know. It makes the game harder or easier. Is this because this is a game thing, right? Or is this like just something wild? Like
it is for video games. It is for video games.
Okay.
Yeah. So
yeah, then
I'll
it's
pull up
gonna
the video.
read your blood pressure. If it's harder, it makes it easier, and if it's easier, it makes it harder, depending on how upset you are.
So this is the gameplay. He's not doing great yet, but he's figuring it out. The fact that it works at all blows me away.
Yeah, the fact that they get on running.
Yeah. I mean, obviously it's an incredibly simple game, but it is just a little thing attached on his finger. Let me get the subtitles. It's just this little black thing on his finger here. That's all of the controls. Like, he's not even looking at the screen right now trying to mess with it, but I'm impressed. And it's more than one game. It's more than one game. This is just the first example. So it has a bowling game.
Okay.
Mind bowling. You had a version of this to play Pong?
Fun.
That's sick. Is it mind bowling? Or is it mind blowing? There was also an art game that they did on it. Oh, here's like a snowboarding game, I believe. Maybe it was skiing, I don't recall. Oh, a first person snowboarding game. Let's go. That you use your brain to control. Okay.
Yes.
Obviously, it's old, so the graphics aren't pretty.
Yeah.
But again, I'm just looking at the functionality of a small device you attach to your finger that has no buttons on it. Here's a doodling software that looks like it might be difficult.
This is the next Etch-a-Sketch, is what it feels like.
Yeah. I want to see CB use this.
Draw me, streamer, but with your mind. Okay,
But
so
yeah.
like, how expensive is this thing? Because it seems very like. And also, does it explain like how it's supposed to work, like at all?
We could probably figure out how it works.
Or does it just say like it reads your mind or whatever?
No options on shopping immediately popped up.
Damn.
It was from the late 90s. Yeah, I don't really see, I don't even see like an eBay. Usually all these controllers, the one thing they've all had in common is that we can't find a wiki page for them, but they have eBay pages.
eBay, yeah.
So I don't know. If anyone in chat can figure out how much one of these mind drives cost, I'd be interested. But yeah, that was the most bizarre and wild out there controller I've been able to find. Because I feel like, apart from this, the most unique sorts of interface that we have to play games is VR and, like, connect using your whole body.
Yeah, those are the new ones.
This using nothing is impressive. And I emphasize nothing because it's meant to read your mind. And if realistically, if any of us tried to use it, it would have a hard time. So it literally uses nothing to play the game.
I want to know like exactly how it works for some reason. I actually may look into this more because it's gotta be like something. It doesn't actually like read your mind, air quotes. Like there's gotta be some other signal that's like picking up on based on things, right?
Opal has some insight. They said it's a very single axis control. It was like it measured concentration. So if you relaxed, the paddle would go down, and if you concentrated, the paddle would go up. How does it detect that from your finger is still what I'm not sure of. It might be very simple technology and I'm just an idiot, but...
Maybe just like subtle movements, I don't know, like twitches in the muscle, spasms, I don't know.
Advi says blood pressure. Maybe you had it. Maybe you had it.
Let's fucking go, baby! I'm a fucking genius! I should become a game designer. Or game controller designer.
A controller designer, yeah.
Yeah, a controller designer.
Measuring heart rate or electrical resistance in the skin like seizure sensors do. Very possible, very possible. So Opal out here, big brain.
Well, that's like that's how a lot of like lie detector tests work, right? Is like it measures like more of like the blood pressure and like stuff of like in your system more so than actually like reading your mind and telling the truth, and then the thing goes up or down depending.
True.
Because that's why it's like they're not always accurate. Because sometimes you can not quite.
No, it reads the brain's activity during that moment. But like lie detector tests, they hook up to your head rather than just your arm.
Yeah, it's true. It does go like to your temple too. That's true.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this, boys?
Homework. Is that a? What am I looking at?
You were looking at a 4-digit combination lock that slots into the cartridge slot of a Nintendo to prevent somebody from putting a game into it.
Fuck that.
This is some like actual evil brother, like older brother shit.
This is
like, ugh.
This is the parental lock for the parents who are like, I don't know how to work a controller. Just slap it on there.
Just slaps it on. They're probably porn on this thing. You ain't gonna get a hold of this, not when I'm not around.
This is a punishment tool, clearly. This was made by sadists. I never heard of this. I just accidentally found it when I was about to close the tab, so I don't have any other information on this. I'm just basing it on the look, but yeah, wow.
Yeah.
I imagine you could do something pretty simple with most of the older generation consoles. Like imagine the PlayStation 1, you just have something that clips the disc thing that opens up, the flap.
Yeah.
You just have something that holds that down and same product.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, you could just like chain the whole thing around like every console and just like lock it that way, right? And you'd probably get the same effect.
Fair. Probably scratch up the console a little bit. You paid a lot for those,
fine.
so
yeah.
I will say I'm very happy that despite how clearly hate-driven this is towards the gamer, that it's not a Nintendo product. This really looks like something Nintendo would try to do to prevent their fans from playing games. I'm really on the Nintendo kick today. I'm really on it.
I will say, I mean, I wasn't surprised. I knew there was a lot of like whack controllers, especially for like aircraft kind of games or flight sims, and like on PC. So I wasn't super surprised by it, but there was a lot more like PC fighting like Nintendo than I thought there would be, because I don't know. In my head, I'm just like, Nintendo is the weird, like, innovative ones that
these are just controllers as well. This isn't even all the peripherals.
That's true.
Yeah, I specifically went hunting for controllers. So, do you have anything else? Any more bangers you'd like to show us, Jamie?
There was just the Game Boy cartridges that would charge with solar. They were funny.
Solar Game Boy charges, right?
No, the cartridge itself for the game.
Let's see.
So, like, the game would only work if it had been out in the sun.
It would only work if it was out in the sun?
Yep.
Like, what's the point of having batteries in your game? Oh wait, is the...
I believe that the cartridges did have a battery in them because they... I don't really know why they had a battery in them, but I know that they were necessary for like storing data or maintaining data or something along those lines.
Maintaining data.
Yeah.
That would make sense. Interesting.
Yeah, solar powered game cartridge for the Game Boy Advance. Yep.
I'm having a hard time finding one. Maybe I've looked at them.
It's particularly for one game, Boktai.
Oh.
The sun is in your hand.
Yeah, that one.
I've got it here. So I do remember a lot of these game cartridges coming out with like clear casings like this, and I honestly miss this. I really miss the old 90s thing of being like, wow, you can see the tech in it, isn't it cool? And having like the atomic purple controllers and things like that. I miss that stuff. I liked that. I don't know why it's gone.
It was a nice aesthetic.
Cool
So as
aesthetic.
part of the game's storyline, you had to evidently take your Game Boy outside and allow the cartridge to be exposed to the sun. This charges your character's weapon in the game.
Huh.
Oh, weird kind of gimmick, but I'm here for it.
Creative.
So you get to that part of the game and it's like nighttime. You're just like,
fuck.
Damn it. I guess I'll just go fuck myself until tomorrow morning.
Rock Candy was an Xbox controller I used. Hold on. Oops.
Wait, what was it? Rock Candy? Is that what you said? Yeah, those are the ones that had like all the that has the aesthetic. It's
Nice.
Like
okay, I'm glad that these are still a thing. I've just never gone looking for them properly.
Too bad these are very shitty controllers.
Are they?
I will say, yeah, they're not good quality. I do like them because they're like very cool colors and stuff, and aesthetically they're pleasing to look at, but they're not great.
Is it like Mad Catz quality or?
Yeah, it's not that bad. Like the buttons don't break that easy, but the case would like crack pretty. Like it was pretty fragile. I would recommend like having a raging gamer moment with one of them.
I want a full version of this image. I want a full version of this Xbox 360 Zelda controller so I can comment on how cursed it is that someone made a Zelda controller for an Xbox.
What do you mean? Let them like what they want.
Well, you can't play it. You can't even play that game. It's like having a Mario PlayStation controller.
Fine, you just play Skyrim. It's basically Zelda.
Don't ever say that again.
This is coming from the guy who thinks Sonic is the mascot of gaming. I put those words in his mouth.
It was a joke.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude.
Oh man.
Agony.
We get no respect around here. Nobody believes me. Nobody trusts me.
Let me see here. If I've got a couple more, was there any that we didn't look at, Chunk, from yours that you sent me?
No, because most of mine were the like base stuff that was like, oh, these are things that everyone will recognize, like the NES Zapper and the Game Boy printer. You know.
I thought that more people would be familiar with this. I thought that this would be. Oh, jeez. Big picture.
iToy is great.
I liked it. I had a lot of fun with the iToy on PS2.
Me too. The boxing game was awesome.
I liked the window washing one because I've always been I like optimization. So I just used my entire body as the window washing thing. It would cheat the whole game basically. But man, I miss the iToy. I played a hoverboard game that just tracked which direction you lean, and that was basically all of your mechanics. It was so fun.
Yeah, great. Yeah, that was a great one.
Yeah, iToy was great.
I didn't know this thing existed. Like I had seen it in some people's houses, but I didn't know what it was. Yeah, I'd never seen anybody use it. So I just assumed it was like a weird addition, kind of like the Kinect that you never see anyone use for the most part.
It is just straight up a precursor to the Kinect. Okay, this is an awful video to show what this is. I just want to see someone playing it. Nope. You gonna make this hard on me? Oh, here we go. Grating cheese on the iToy.
Oh boy.
There we go.
Oh, I
Look at these
remember this
graphics. Let's do it. Yeah.
It just actually shows you. Okay.
Yeah, it just shows you in the background. Yeah. It's the iToy wasn't perfect. This was definitely the precursor that led to the Kinect, which is much better, but is also still not perfect. But this was, what was this, early 2000s when the iToy came out?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think about then.
I think the Kinect is too modern. Everybody knows what the Kinect is, so we'll skip out on that one, even though it is
Kinect
interesting.
is very modern.
We could go down a whole Mad Catz rabbit hole, or talk about the Game Boy printer.
Yeah, we did. We could talk about the Game Boy printer, which was, it's exactly what you think it is.
Can I find a video of someone printing? So I want to see it print something alive.
Maybe.
Let's see. Let's see if this person will print something for us. Oh boy. Oh boy.
He's got his whole intro. Nice.
Yeah, so I forgot about the camera, in all honesty. I remember the Game Boy having a printer, but I didn't remember the Game Boy having a camera for some reason.
They had the camera because of Pokemon Snap. That was like one of the biggest things for it, right? I think.
I thought Pokemon Snap was a 64 exclusive.
No, you're right.
Yeah. Oh, why is it so sad and scared?
I do remember there being a camera, but
so this is the quality of the Game Boy camera.
Haunting,
Which,
honestly.
It is terrifying for some reason. It makes me so uncomfortable, but it is still impressive to think that this was achieved by plugging a weird device into a Game Boy.
Yeah, true.
Oh, true, the magnifying glass and the light snap-on. I had the light snap-on back when Game Boy screens weren't backlit.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see.
I remember seeing an interesting thing where it's like there was like a whole bunch of like TikToks that was like people like doing like this exaggerated like snapping a whole bunch of gun add-ons onto like a gun, and then someone did the same thing but with a Game Boy Color that they added like the snap-on like light and the magnifying glass and like a whole bunch of other things onto the sides, and like the little springy like light attachment that you would hook on, and little spring you could like adjust it as well. It was so funny.
Your camera died again, by the way. Print, let's go. I want to see it. I want to see it in action.
Just the rest of the time.
No. I'm excited to see this. I want to see it actually print out on this little thing. I liked your face better the last time your camera froze.
Oh, true. Yeah, whenever I was doing the shake of my head.
Oh, it's so light. It hardly even came out.
I mean, it ain't got a lot of.
Oh,
ink,
it's you peel something off.
Is this one of those shitty tattoos? Do you like wet it and then put it on your skin and like eventually will?
Do you have to develop it like photo paper? Okay, this just looks better. Okay. I think maybe he did it backwards. What a weird piece of ancient tech at this point. Let's make Chunk bigger and more in focus now. There we go.
Let's go.
Okay, I feel like we have reached the point where we can take any. We normally do a QA at the end. I feel like for this one, the QA would just be, do you guys have any controllers you feel like we didn't talk about that we should have, or any peripherals at all? So anything in any way, shape, or form that is an accessory to gaming that you think we should look at before we wrap up here.
Agreed. I would say we took listened to a lot of people while we were going through. So
any Sonic themed controllers?
Oh my god.
Shame, we have looked at the Sonic themed controllers already. I'll just say for anybody who is only here for the more structured section of the podcast, that is wrapping up now. Now it is just us talking with chat. Really appreciate you guys for coming. I hope you had a bunch of fun. I hope you learned about some bizarre attachments and things today.
I'm gonna ask something really weird.
Sure.
My head has gotten very dizzy.
Okay.
Are you two able to handle this section on your own?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we could figure something out. We have Chunk's camera's broken. You'll be gone.
I feel really bad, but I've been really sick all day today.
We may just go ahead and wrap it up here then.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, then in that case,
I need to get some form of fresh air or something because I feel like I'm about to.
Understandable. I could tell you seemed a little out of it today. Get well soon, Jamie. Feel free to go ahead and pop out. Again, thank you for coming.
Thank you. I'll leave my camera up so it doesn't fuck with your thing.
Sure. It won't be for too long, so
Yeah.
All right.
we're just gonna say our goodbyes. If you want to get your goodbye in before you leave.
Yeah. Thanks everyone for being here. Good podcast. I really enjoyed the topic. I wish I wasn't feeling so under the weather for it. But everyone who's stopping by and everyone who enjoys the podcast, you're all amazing. Thank you for being here.
Hard agree. Couldn't have said it better myself. If you are interested in seeing more content like this, we do these podcasts every other Monday. Generally, we've only missed one, I believe. So generally a week beforehand, we will have posted the topic that we're going to be discussing the next week on my Twitter. So !Twitter if you're interested in dropping a follow. Once again, huge shout out to the streamers who rated in tonight. We had CB Doodles, we had Toma Snow, and we had Tom the Unseen, as well as Eliminator. Huge appreciation to you guys. It means a whole lot to me. And I just hope everyone had a good night and enjoyed the chat. If you have ideas for the next topic, feel free to shoot them into my inbox. Or if you even want to be a guest or know someone that you think would be a fun guest for the show, feel free to recommend them as well. You have anything you want to say on the way out, Chunk?
Peace, hombres.
Real on brand for you there. All right, let's pick who we raid. Let's see. Let's drop a fat raid for... This is always the hardest part. Any suggestions, chat?
Aru's live? I mean, it's up to you.
Oh, true. I never get to raid Aru. Okay, I'll do that.
Let's go.
Yep. All right, we're gonna be raiding into a VTuber. I believe most of you came from VTuber raids, or you're a fan of one of our communities. So maybe you're familiar with VTubers. At the very, very least, I ask that you stay around just long enough to drop some good vibes in their chat, some smiles, some hearts, make them feel loved. Treat yourself the same way. Having a wonderful, wonderful night, guys. For those of you who are frequenters of my stream, I'll see you tomorrow. Night, everybody.